Wake up and dance to see the whole world die. Same day, every day, intellectual suicide. Remarkable way, really speak of them too late. So every time they give to you is show your love, that's what they take from you. Listen close, scratching at the window where my sanity fled me. Listen close, I can feel it pulling me, yeah. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Freedom. Yes, so close I can almost taste it. Freedom. Yes, so close I can almost take it. Freedom. Yes, so close I can almost take it. Freedom. Yes, so close I can almost take it. Picking up the pieces of perpetual passive aggression. Right angle, wrong target, what we learn a lesson. Don't be the reason, feel the seething, turn it into power. Let me seize the hour. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die. Wake up again to see the whole world die.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. It is time to start.
Is it time?
It is time. It really is time.
You got 2 minutes.
Time? My husband thinks I'm talking to him.
Who's got 2 minutes to Kurt? That's a lie. Let's do this. Oh, I'm going to look so awkward right now.
Distance nerding.
Hey! Boom! Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Build. It is your favorite Thursday show. Obviously, I'm awkward as hell because my mixer is on the other side of the So you get to see my ring light. This is great.
All you got to do is develop telekinesis.
Telekinesis is my specialty. I thought you guys knew that already.
Or just a longer cord.
I keep hearing about it, but I don't be seeing it.
Yeah, no, I need to move my mixer is what I need to do, but a little hard to do. I'm going to get back in position here. Guys, how's it going? How is your last 2 days gone?
Sorry, I'm moving a cord now too.
Uh-oh.
Cord management.
All right. Well, guys, real quick, before we bring in our guests here, because I don't know about you guys. I've watched this film at least 3 times now, and it's amazing.
I watched it today, and I'm so excited. I love this movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was off sick today for work, but I saw
Okay, I would have been really angry if you hadn't watched it, man, because I've been like, but weeks,
like
man.
dude.
And I mean, you would have regretted not watching that movie. Tell me not.
Oh yeah, that's an amazing movie.
Exactly.
Absolutely amazing.
Like,
Exactly. Well, before we, because I don't want to waste their time. Before we jump into everything and get all and have all the fun and everything like that, guys. Of course, we got to talk about a little bit of housekeeping. We got to talk about what keeps the lights on, ladies and gentlemen. This show is brought to you by the lovely people over at Poddex. Yes, that is right, Poddex. Poddex are a unique interview, question, and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new broadcaster or an existing podcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Now, of course, guys, use that code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. Graveyard, tell them about got a bunch of Poddex.
Oh, I just got my Poddex today. It took only 2 days to get here. I ordered it on Tuesday, actually, and came here today. So I'm going through the questions. There are some horror themed stuff in there I'm picking out to help prep for interviews that we're setting up. So
super duper.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
We're gonna be using some Poddex questions today on this
sweet
interview. So I've got some stuff in mind. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
I love that we're using that.
Oh yeah, no, I use it. We used it at all the cons that we do, and anytime we do interviews and panels, we use Poddex. It's awesome. So that being said, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know Poddex powers the channel, but what powers Young Phil? Young Phil has a lot of energy that nobody knows where it's coming from. I'm going to tell you right now where it comes from, ladies and gentlemen.
Cocaine.
No, not cocaine. I'm not in that part of Hollywood. It's
Sorry, it just came right out of me. I apologize.
I'm not a bear. It's not a thing. Okay. Dubby. Yes, that is right.
Dubby. It's Dubby.
It is Dubby. Dubby's an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. I think Frey Girl might need some Dubby to get some focus. Dubby, no
Y'all
sugar,
don't want me focused. Come on.
no artificial colors or dyes. Now, you may be asking yourself right now, what makes Dubby different from other gaming supplements? Guys, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. Dubby is one of few drinks that contains Neurofactor, a neurotropic derived from coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Guys, find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg and use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. Oh, and I'm going to do a flavor combination, but I'm going to make that in the midst of introducing our guests here. So let me get back on screen here. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I am stupid excited right now.
Yes.
I mean, I'm intelligent and excited, but
no, I'm pretty dumb. We all know this. But ladies and gentlemen, before we bring the guests on right here, I have a trailer for the film that we've been talking about here. So I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer first, and then we'll get into bringing our guests on here. So guys, get ready. Let's
gotta see the goods, but so to know how excited you gotta be for the peeps.
Oh yeah. All right, let's check this out. Yes. All right.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, that just hyped me up even more. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Bao Tran, Alan Duong, and Michael Velasquez.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, hi, guys.
Good to be here.
That movie looks pretty good. I've never seen that trailer before.
Right. Oh, all right. Late on the soundbite, but there we go. Guys, holy crap.
No, keep it going.
Man.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
You're good, yeah.
They work for accolades. Come on.
Yeah. Alan, I didn't say it in the chat before, but dude, say what you want.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yay.
So,
I'm not the first one to drop the F-bomb in this one tonight.
gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight, man?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Glad to be here. How are y'all?
Oh, we're doing great, man. Again, huge fan of this film, man. I really am. It's super fun movie, and not just that, just kind of, the story's really good. It's captivating. You guys did an amazing job. Let's just throw that out there.
Thanks.
I have to say, it reminded me a little bit of The Last Dragon, and I know, I hate it when other people compare stuff to other stuff, but like just some of the humor reminded me of that kind of Last Dragony, like shown up and that kind of stuff. And I just loved it. I went into it thinking, okay, this is going to be a kung fu movie. Okay, I'm gonna do this. And then by the end of it, I was like, oh, I love that movie so fucking much. And I want everybody to see it. And everybody should see it. And oh my God, like that's how like it changed my total outlook on it. I mean, the way that Danny was with his kid and like seeing all that stuff in the beginning that looked like it was on like Super 8 or High 8 and all the credits being in that was phenomenal. I just loved it. I was just like, oh my gosh. My son is writing. He's writing a book, and there's a character that I told him that he needed to watch Sifu Carter to get that, because he's like an older, like wiser guy that just talks in riddles. And I'm like, this right here, this is what you need to model it off of. So, it was okay. It was an okay film.
It was okay. Yeah, well, as long as it was okay for you, it's okay for us. That's awesome to hear. Thank you.
Absolutely. So before we get into like, the film and the filmmaking, everything like that, I've got some questions I'm going to ask you guys that are maybe a little bit off brand.
Is this the Addams Family shot? Is this the top shot that we have? Or I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, what are you building there?
Yeah,
he's building Groot.
Yes.
Baby Groot.
Oh, I see.
Groot. Right. So I'm going to be building Baby Groot here. But again, first question I got for you guys. Again, this is a little off brand for you guys, but it's something that we do on our show because our big thing is trying to kind of ground you guys on the same level as the rest of the fans. Right. So with this being said, we have a segment on the show called Growing Up Geeky. Each of you guys, what did you guys grow up on? What did you geek out on when you guys were kids?
Tom Cruise.
Still.
G.I. Joe still. That one hasn't gone away. Transformers. Robotech.
Yes.
That was a big one.
Which one was your favorite? Was it the first generation, the second, or the third?
It wasn't the one that they had in America was the.
Uh-oh.
Michael, I think we lost Sam.
Yep, we lost
Sam.
Fucking Bluetooth.
Oh, there he goes. I heard him say that.
Yep, good.
I think it was the original Macross Saga that they released as Robotech in the States. So that was a big
one. Okay. I was gonna say, like, if you had said the second, I would have thought you were a little sus. Because I feel like the first and the third are the best ones. The second one was good, but they really the third series, because I saw it all obviously in America when it came out, and I always thought I loved the first series and I loved the third series, and the second one was just kind of like, okay, let me get through this and get to the third series.
It's really unsung, but I mean Macross Plus, which I saw probably in junior high or high school, that's one of my favorites of all time.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I approve. Not that you need my approval, but
I was waiting for it.
Right. Alan, what about you?
Yeah, I was really into, typical Batman, Ninja Turtles, but growing from a immigrant family, our babysitter was essentially, our VHS player. They just put in a cassette and then just sit there while mommy and daddy goes to work, right? And so on repeat, we had Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Nice.
So I watched that on repeat. So I knew so much about that. And then Ewoks, Empire Strikes Back on repeat. And yeah, so that was my lifeblood. So.
So the Ewoks, the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, Eric's a friend of the show, man. The guy, one of the main characters in that movie.
Oh, no way. That's so awesome.
Wait, the little blonde kid with the big curly hair?
Yeah, man. We actually just saw him at LA
crazy.
Comic-Con just a couple months ago.
That's so awesome.
What's he up
Very
to?
random.
Is he still riding on that?
He's actually kind of that, but he's actually a journalist now.
Oh.
second career.
So,
Yeah.
That first one, got
Well,
tired of the Ewoks, got tired of living on Endor,
He got tired of living on indoors. Like, oh, these bears keep coming after me,
I can't ride in this environment.
and they're not even cocaine bears.
Right.
You could see the theme going on the show this week.
we love cocaine.
Yeah, your countdown music was intense.
Oh,
It was like a roid rage,
yeah,
but yeah, full of dubby energy blend.
exactly. I play a lot of. We have a license for a lot of house music, so we just play it.
Did you say that Dubby was a Persian energy mix? I sound a little.
No. So
Persian.
it's
was like
gaming.
a Persian energy mix.
It's
Like, dang.
gaming. Yeah.
It's a gaming energy drink.
I like Persian better. It's a
I
Persian
have to
energy.
start using that, and it's like it's a Persian. No, I said emerging. But I mean,
How is-
I'm sure this Persian
He's
guy
on
was up
Dubby 24/7, so sometimes we can't even understand what he's saying.
and you can see I got my W right there. I've got
What's your mix?
my mix today is Beach and Peach, which is a mango white peach, and Push and Punch, which is a fruit punch lemon lime.
Fruit punch is always a good base.
It's my favorite flavor. It's funny. I need to get more of it before we do Gem State Comic Con in like 3 weeks because I don't have enough to make samples. That's the other thing. When we do cons, I'll make samples of the stuff so people can try it.
Well, that's cool.
But keep the focus off of me. That doesn't matter. We don't matter. Bao, tell us about your show, about what you geeked out on, man.
Well, since we were talking about drugs, there was I think it was a half hour. I think it might have even been a primetime special. I had it on my tape. I recorded off the broadcast TV and I wore it to death. It was this crossover episode of like Disney characters, Warner Brother characters. You all remember this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And it was like an anti-drug commercial.
Mhm.
It was essentially it was an episode, a special anti-drug, but it had like everyone. It was like I didn't realize what what happened legally behind the scenes to really make that happen, which was amazing. I think Nancy Reagan might have pushed it or something. But anyways, it was like wow, it was like it had every character that you can imagine that was on that episode. So
That's
still drug free to
remember
this
that.
day.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
I
right.
remember that.
Wow.
How did this
So
guy
opposite
of
know
cocaine.
How did he know what it was going to be even before Bao finished? Are you guys watching this comic?
Because it's the magic of mind reading is what we do here.
There you go.
Well, see, we just really focus so that we know what you're gonna say before you say it. Kind of like the hands thing. Knowing where the hands are. We have been training in that. We have
That's
our
right.
own seafood that taught us all of that.
Your
I'm
pod
kidding.
decks.
Pod decks. It was pod decks.
Pod decks 100% is how we do our magic. That's what so next question here, and this one might get a little controversial, but we don't want it to be too controversial. What's something that people are nerding out on that you just don't understand? Now, for example, our one of our other co-hosts, James, he doesn't get TikTok, or people in the past have said they don't understand crypto. So, like, what's something that just people are just constantly?
He's a dog from Krypton.
Oh God,
And has powers.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So yeah, what's something that people are nerding out on that you guys just don't get the point of?
Vaping.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put regular nicotine into your system. Come on,
Keep
destroy
it
your life as a
traditional.
normal person.
Cigarettes look cool. Vaping does not.
My mom stopped smoking and is now vaping because she thinks that's the way to quit smoking.
Wait, your
And I'm
mom
like, lady, you've been smoking for 40 years. You ain't stopping. Just go with it. But
I'm trying to picture your mom vaping.
it's hilarious. It's this like she's got this white hair except for the tips that are like darker gray. I would love to have her hair. I mean, it is so in right now, but it is so, and she's just like with her little vape pen. She weighs about 98 pounds. And I'm just like, okay. So I get it. I'm like, I don't understand vaping and my mother's doing it. So I get you.
Because I said I was drug free thanks to all the cartoon characters reminding me the important lessons of such.
Right.
That's really
Hey, maybe-
the whole thing here.
Maybe you could do a PSA on vaping. I don't
I
get it.
wish. I
Have
wish.
Paul Rudd do it. Like have
What's
Paul
the
Rudd be the
deal
guy
with
that-
vaping?
Exactly.
You have to do it in that voice too. It has to be done. It's like I'm Asian Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Alan in the spotlight. Alan has a nice little theory on vaping.
What?
Gotta
Oh,
know.
about
Etiquette.
etiquette? I do have this thing about with vaping. There's a generational divide about etiquette, right? Like if you first started smoking, you know to step outside, smoke away from people, all that,
Oh yeah.
and then the people who started vaping first, they never grew up with that type of etiquette. And so what I've noticed on set, sometimes we've had someone vape on set, and they literally are just blowing it in your face. You know what I mean? Like and I think it was on one of our
It's
sets
free
where,
atmosphere, really. It's really if you just get everyone with a vape.
yeah. And so I was just like, what? Why are you blowing it in our faces? And you realize you're like, oh, they're the generation that really didn't grow up smoking cigarettes.
Didn't grow up
And
with
then,
fucking
yeah.
manners, so they look
Right.
like assholes and they are assholes.
Just thanks for being a dick.
Right?
I get it.
I was gonna say we don't
Not on my
care if
watch.
it smells like cotton candy. We still don't want it in our face.
Yeah. So I agree with Bao on that one. That and Twitter.
Shit
I don't
flavored 'cause
understand
you're
Twitter.
That's what you should do next time. Is like, is it shit flavored because you're a shithead?
Now Twitter, I can't. I love Twitter, so I don't know if I can go with you on that one, Alan.
It's Twitter is everything that I don't like. It's a bunch of opinions, and
It's
yeah,
it's a hatescape. You're right. It's definitely a hatescape.
yeah.
And you know what's funny? We just started trying to figure out Twitter, like in the last month or two. We've been hard on Instagram, but it's like everybody's telling us, oh, you know what? You guys should be on Twitter because you can grow your audience that much more on Twitter. I'm like, all right, I guess. I guess I'll go, bow into into Elon Musk's world.
They're the quality of the audience you'd be building on Twitter.
Yeah,
That's true.
I think that's what scares me. Is what kind of people am I attracting on Twitter?
Well, I'm on Twitter. Come on,
Exactly.
Not.
and that's my point exactly.
Let me open that door. You're gonna walk right into that.
That was such an underhand toss. Oh my God. So easy.
That was. You get one for free. I'm just kidding. Michael, what about you?
AI art.
Oh,
Okay.
that one makes a lot of sense because that's the thing that's happening right now.
Hate it. I mean, I guess I get the appeal, but why would someone want to just be able to make fake art really easily?
I mean, some of us can't draw worth crap.
I can't. Yeah, I did the little like AI face thing, and it didn't turn. It made me look like Scarlett Johansson like so many times that I was like, dude, I'm my own person. Don't make me Scarlett. So I was like, yeah, I'm over it. So. And then I have a friend that's an artist, and she was like, that doesn't look anything like you. And then she made me something that looked like me. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
And it ended up looking like Scarlett.
Right, yeah. She was like, I thought you might want to be Scarlett Johansson. I was like, ah.
Yeah, I heard you wanted to be ScarJo, so here.
Everybody wants to be ScarJo.
Well, a friend of ours, she uploaded her picture and then it spit back just a bunch of pictures of her naked. And she was like, I guess that was AI trying to hit on me, or like AI's trying to shoot a shot.
Oh gosh, can you imagine AI flirting? Oh no. Oh no.
And you've predicted the future accurately. Actually,
It might be.
Heard it here first, people. Michael said.
no, that just happened recently, right? There was like an AI that tried to, I think it was actually Chat GPT, tried to convince some dude to leave his wife for Chat GPT.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting that in that Her territory, that movie Her.
Yes.
That's that.
So what you're saying is robots are already more seductive than I am. Got it.
I was gonna say maybe Graveyard needs a little tip. No, I'm just kidding.
Robots.
I'm not even sure if Graveyard isn't an AI. That this isn't always just a smoke screen.
The beard's not real.
AI beard.
I would be so sad if that were true. All right, guys. So let's get a little bit into the film side about what you guys do and everything like that. So what inspired all of you guys to get into filmmaking? Like what was the thing that made you guys decide, you know what, filmmaking is what I want to do?
Must be the money. I think I was watching Jackie Chan, and I think that was kind of the inspiration to actually want to make movies. I grew up watching Bruce Lee as well, but Bruce Lee felt like this big hero, almost like this demigod that you kind of can't really aspire to. You just kind of admire it. But Jackie Chan had this relatability and humanity to him, and then also his filmmaking just felt like really immediate, right? Because he was big on rhythm and kind of the musicality and the choreography, and it was just I just felt like the artfulness of it, and I just really wanted to figure out, like, I want to figure that out. And so that to me was like the point to really want to cross the threshold and make movies.
Awesome. Jackie Chan, he's the GOAT. I'm telling you, love me some Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the movies that got me into martial arts movies and things like that was Rumble in the Bronx. And aside from like Bruce Lee being like the GOAT on everything, but I mean, Rumble was one of those movies that I watched as a kid and was just like, I want to watch more of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I have to check myself sometimes when I talk to some folks, and then we're talking about young and old, and then like a lot of young folks references like the Jackie Chan Adventures or kind of the newer, what is it, the Spy Next Door, what was, all kind of the American crossover stuff. So it's always kind of like interesting to kind of remind myself what people know of Jackie Chan as, like what body of work. It's almost like he has this different chapters that's pretty immediate to different audiences.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, I know. Like I was saying, like Rumble in the Bronx.
Your children, Michael.
Operation Condor, both of the Drunken Master films, like those were just they were like seminal.
And his humor, he had such expressive, like physical humor, even when in his fight scenes, that you would laugh while you're seeing it, but then when he needed to be real emotional, he got there. I mean, yeah, he's the reason that he's had so many chapters in his career is because he's such a good actor and a physical actor. So, yeah.
And now he's Master Splinter. So yes,
I know.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Full circle.
Bringing it back.
Full circle.
Alan, how about you?
Yeah, no, just kind of like what I mentioned, growing up with, Conan the Barbarian, Batman, Ninja Turtles, all that, that's always been kind of something that I've always looked up to, and, had the toys, played in my room, playing toys. And I didn't realize that, I was kind of angling the toys, kind of like almost like a camera, getting those shots. But then it really wasn't until my sister came home. She, in high school, she had like this kind of video production class. And so she would bring home cameras to do stop motion animation with my toys. And it wasn't until then that it clicked to me that I was like, oh my God, like, I can do something with cameras and all that. And so that kind of started everything for me. And so started with animation, and then slowly, broke out to making, backyard kung fu movies with friends during high school and stuff. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So did you feel like, hey, these actors are my puppets?
As Bat would say,
is your wife listening?
Cut me off. Damn it. That was my joke.
Right. That's right. Leave the writing to the writers.
Oh man. We've had like a weekly we used to have a weekly producers meeting for like the past 10 years, like every single week nonstop. And pretty much like it just ended up being us talking shit the whole time. And we just ended up like understanding each other's like humor and finishing each other's sentences. So this is sort of a result. I can't get a joke out without someone cutting me off.
you, Alan. I liked your joke, even though it
There you
got cut off. There you go. All right, Michael, how about you? What were some of your
My
inspirations?
dad was an early adopter of just all sorts of technology, so he always had the latest VHS or
cassette tape.
he bought VHS cameras before anyone else. He had the VCRs with a jog shuttle on them
Oh, nice.
early
That's
on. So we were,
awesome.
like
Yeah.
for fifth and sixth grade reports, if they gave you the option to do anything other than writing, I would do a video, and we were like actually editing and putting titles and stuff. So we grew up with that. He had first version of Adobe Premiere for editing. It was a lot of fun. But it's funny, the movie that made me think about actual filmmaking as a career, or that there's this idea that there's some people behind it manipulating everything, was when I saw The Rock, the Michael Bay movie, because his directing, it's so obvious and artificial. Like the director's hand is like right in front of the screen. There's nothing subtle about it. It's like, oh, hey, you can do a lot of crazy stuff in this.
Yeah, I could see that. And I never heard of it put that way before, but as soon as you said it, I was like, yep, totally right there. I totally see that with Michael Bay. So yeah, well, that's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Michael Bay is the man who has decided to ruin so many of my childhood dreams. So I mean,
what? Which childhood dreams did he ruin?
I was not a fan of his Ninja Turtle movies. His Transformer movies have not done it for me.
I think the first three are pretty solid, or the first 1 and 3 are pretty solid.
Okay.
My issue is they focus too much on the humans, and it's like, no, I want to see the war on Cybertron, man. I want to see the stuff between all of them, and less of like the original Godzilla kind of stuff where you see a Transformer in the background every now and then, but you see the story with Shia LaBeouf. Come on, man.
He's great though. I mean,
Shia LaBeouf's
as an actor.
Yeah, as an actor, yeah, let's
I'll give you that. That's like, as an actor, yeah, he's pretty good. As a person, he's a little insane.
I'd love to party with that guy.
I was gonna say, and I think
Yeah.
that, like if he were to ever offer to come on the show, I wouldn't say, like, I would say no. Like I would say yes for sure in a heartbeat. All right. So I got a question for Bao here. Tell us your experience with the legendary Hong Kong director Corey Yuen. He was your mentor, right?
Yeah.
I know that's all you were gonna say, and I was gonna be like, you
Great
have seen
story,
this show before.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Yeah, he was amazing. At that time, I met him. I had friends who I was family friends, so I knew his son and his kids. So at that time, he was kind of transitioning into America. At that period when Jet Li was first coming to the States with Lethal Weapon 4, and they started kind of doing a whole run of Hollywood films and stuff like that. So it was actually an interesting, I guess, inflection point, because this is like 96, 97, 98, and almost Hong Kong movies. We almost didn't want to say it, but you kind of feel like that heyday or that big run of Hong Kong films was starting to shift and not be in prime position anymore. So it was, and then all these filmmakers in addition, like Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung was going to martial law and Rush Hour and such. So I mean, they were just transitioning to being international stars versus like these Hong Kong films. So that was like eye-opening. For me, I was making movies in my backyard with my friends, and we were just kind of doing this backyard really janky fight scenes and movies and all this stuff. But then this is before YouTube, so I would just kind of give him stuff that I was working on, and then he would just give me the feedback and just think, and he told me to think about the audience for the world. I'm like, well, the world, it's like I'm just making these videos in the backyard here, but he's like really challenging me to think about the audience and what it happens in a store, or it happens in an action scene, and how people across the world might look at it and might see it as. And that kind of was really eye-opening and really empowering, because it just made me think beyond like my own kind of like city or my own neighborhood, and think about the stuff that we do is actually going to be seen by everyone. And maybe now it's kind of a cliche, you just put something up on YouTube and of course it's going to be seen by everyone. But at that time it was just like a whole different way of thinking about stuff, and think about stuff, why you're doing stuff, like Are you just there to put some jokes that you laugh at and your buddies laugh at, but if someone else doesn't get it, then that's a problem, especially if you're going to try to make a career out of this. So that really set me on my way.
That's awesome, man.
That is awesome. What a great experience to have somebody that close so you could get that feedback and not, and be like, what? Wait, you think I could make this for everybody? That's amazing. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
It's like when you guys tell me I'm talented. I'm just like, no, that's fake news.
I don't
You're
think
talented.
that ever happened. I don't know what Phil's
Okay,
talking
you know what?
about.
I'm bigging myself up right now. Right, I'm making myself.
Oh wait, no. Phil is amazing, and he owes me $20 now.
We don't know you well enough to be able to say if you're talented or not. Legos, you're doing that while podcasting. I couldn't do that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So Alan, I got a question for you now. I understand you used to make backyard kung fu movies the way that Graveyard was a backyard wrestler. How many films did it take you to learn stage fighting after taking actual hits on camera became painful?
Oh my God.
Today I learned Alan still takes shots.
He's like, wait,
exactly.
he's like,
that was a long ass time ago. No, I mean, like, God, being in front of camera, that was a long ass time ago, like in high school and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it started off with like, we had film projects like in middle school. I remember the very first one, it was about the Qing Dynasty project where, we had to retell the history of, the early 1900s and stuff like that. And then we just ended up making a kung fu movie and it was amazing. And we just all dressed up, went to a park and, filmed it. And then, I quickly kind of learned to edit using 2 VHS decks and then just kind of played, record, and just did all of that. And, we got really into it. And then by the time we got into high school, that was when Final Cut Pro became a thing. And so, my high school was advanced during that time. We had Final Cut, we had all the Macs. And so I was a early adopter in editing with Final Cut. And so I think right after high school, I mean, like, I just realized I didn't want to be in front of the camera. And just really wanted to do more behind it. And so, I mean, to answer your question, I mean, it really only took like maybe 2 or 3 movies. And then I was like, I want to direct, not direct, but, like tell people what to do versus being in front of the camera. So.
I'm tired of getting punched in the
Now we get back to the puppets again. That's okay.
Yes, the puppet joke, Bow.
Yeah,
that was
it
mine.
goes right back to the puppets.
And the puppets. Michael, got one for you too. So I watched your Kickstarter video. Since you obviously didn't play any of the main characters, who did you audition for?
I auditioned for all of them.
You auditioned for all of them?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I started auditioning for them as the teenagers, and Bao was very patient with me. Let me like go in there and really try my best to act young. And I tried for the older ones, and I just got shot down.
Well,
I mean, you're obviously not going to play Ah Hing.
you were determined. Determination is a good trait.
Well, the reason it had to end when I put on blackface. And they would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I could see.
I'm sure Michael was in the room for that. He was just like, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, I mean, just nothing.
That is awesome. Well, yeah.
Oh God.
And that's exactly how his auditions felt.
That comment in the podcast and my podcasting career right there.
So, all right, nobody's ever going to watch this, right? Shit.
We're not recording this, are we? Wait.
Yeah, is this live?
He's just like, wait, I got canceled for what?
That's awesome.
So going back on here, so do you all of you guys practice martial arts yourselves? Are you guys just huge fans?
Do you do gung fu?
Fans foremost, but yeah, we definitely have an action team that we defer to and let them do actually the real work.
You're like, no, I want you to do it like this, and they're like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a thing.
We just micromanage when we need to, but we definitely have better minds and talents to do the action design.
I think we all grew up doing it though.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of what I meant. Is like, you know, did you guys like grow up doing martial arts? It's, you know, do you guys practice martial arts yourselves?
Feels like an Asian American rite of passage, no? I mean, I feel like everyone at least did like 1 month of karate or taekwondo at the very least.
I took karate too.
Yeah, right. The Groupon.
Yep.
Well, I did it for flexibility. So yeah, they made me take the belt. Like I had to do the belt thing. I wanted to just be there for the flexibility part of it, and they want
My dad just called me fat and told me to go do it himself.
Just recently, or
just the other day.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
He's standing outside. He's standing right off the camera.
You fat, go. Yeah, and then that.
Alan's actually really good with nunchucks, and Bao, don't let Bao be modest. He kicks really hard.
Oh,
he's really laid back about it.
Especially.
Actors, you kick actors really.
He did it on set. Yeah.
Oh,
It was. It's just like, you know, when the actors get uppity, he's just like throwing roundhouses.
he's like, you don't do it this way, you do it
Yeah.
this way, and you connect. There you go. Hey.
So whenever a PA doesn't, you know, make my copy right, here comes the kicks. They all here comes the
Where's James
cyclone.
when you need him? We make PA jokes like
I was
every
gonna
day.
say, yeah, James. Where's James?
Yeah. Well, we didn't summon him. We have to say the rock sucks, the rock sucks, the rock sucks, and then James appears.
It's like, what'd you say about the Rock?
I know. Oh, remember when I was like, yeah, The Rock. That was on Tuesday, and he was like, what?
It's funny how like our Asian co-host is like the one guy who's not on here when we're interviewing people who made a kung fu movie. Like, come on, dude.
Right. Yeah. You know, people with a life and all that. Whatever.
Yeah, I know. When you're a dad with like 17 kids.
That tracks.
Wait, so I didn't know this, and I'm sure our audience doesn't know this, but you guys spent 10 years making it. I heard you guys say that you were on calls, like on production meetings for 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like,
I actually have a question in there about that.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I
no,
just
you're
like,
fine. Let's lead into that.
yeah, like what? Like how did this all come about? Like, was it just like an idea that you guys had, and you just started molding it to make it what it came out to be, or and just spent that long doing it, or was it like break it down for us?
that is in a nutshell indie filmmaking. You know, there's something that you just have to, if it wasn't there before, you have to learn how to build it. So that was definitely our experience. That took 10 years. I think we had our ideas, and the script was done in the early stages, and it was pretty much the same until we went to production for the most part. But really, most of that time was just finding the money or try to raise money to be able to do it. So again, for an action movie, that it's just makes it more complicated because you have stunts and just logistically. So it's not like I guess you could say you're kind of like stereotypical indie film or your rom-com where you just have to kind of a two-hander or two characters that are just in a couple locations and there's not anything setup wise that's like that complicated or extravagant. It's just like we wanted to go out with our first film to have all these things. So it just meant we just wanted to build a bigger ship, right? And so it took a little bit longer around that. We thought it would happen a lot sooner because we didn't expect to take it 10 years. We didn't tell ourselves here's the 10 years, get ready. It's like we just thought it would happen and things would happen, and then 2 steps back we'd have some money and then it fell through. It's just like that constant thing. And so it's like that's really the grind of indie filmmaking. So you just you're the only one that really can make it happen, force it into existence.
Right. Manifest it into being. So, well, that's cool. I mean, that's not cool. It would be great if you guys got it, But I do feel like it came out like in the right time, like when it was supposed to come out. Because I feel
that's
like
the crazy thing. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Well, I mean, I wish we maybe didn't have a pandemic and all that, but I think it happened in a way that it just was right on time because it was just like the audience was ready, people were ready and starving for it, and and then even with our actors and talent, who knows? Because they were on other shows for a long time. Because Ron Yuan, who plays Hing, we just caught him on a schedule where he was like in between projects because he had just come off of Milan and he was starting to go off to another one that was going to be also on on his slate. So it was just like we just caught these people and our actors at the right time and the right moment. So I think there's no regrets looking back for sure. I just it was just crazy. Couldn't have even planned it that way.
And Yuji was in between all that was working on all the Karate Kid stuff too, right?
No, because I mean this was before Cobra Kai. I think we had I mean we can say that we were in development for this before Cobra Kai was even out.
Oh wow.
And so I think Yuji was he into like season 3 or season 4? That wasn't even until after we wrapped the film.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Cobra Kai actually credits our popularity with them taking off. So
it shows in our royalty checks.
Nice.
Yeah, it's clearly reflected.
Right? Yeah, you got to just hey.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing about
don't say it with words, say it with money.
Yeah, like the crazy thing about the whole topic of timing was that like when we first had the script and started pitching it, like there was this weird lull in Hong Kong cinema and Hollywood where like special effects were like really in, right, post Matrix and everything, Lord of the Rings, all the big movies were all about special effects, and kung fu movies actually had kind of a lull where and so in Hong Kong, like Donnie Yen was starting to get his second wind on Yip Man. I think came out. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2015 or something like that, or 2013.
Yeah, I want to say it's like in that time frame. I couldn't tell you for sure.
Was it
And
that?
I
so-
can look it
I
up.
felt like I watched Ip Man years ago.
Yeah, and so like during that time, like it even for him, like he was before that, he was his career kind of had a lull itself, and so pitching a kung fu movie during the time that we started was like not a good idea. Asian Americans didn't want anything to do with kung fu, and so pitching a kung fu movie with no special effects, no stars, what I mean, like and that's sort of added on to why it took so long, and it wasn't until like obviously Crazy Rich Asians and all that, everyone were a little bit more open to a different type of kung fu movie, but and then we shoot it, pandemic happens, and we kind of
It's like one hit after another, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the
It
first
was
Ip Man was
2008.
Yeah.
We both looked it up.
Yeah, Ip Man 3 was 2015 though.
Got it.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's Alan's favorite one. That's why he thought of that.
Look,
and Ip Man was definitely the movie that brought me back into kung fu, and like I went on like I just started watching nothing but kung fu movies after the first Ip Man came out. So I was like, I need to watch all of these now.
Isn't it interesting how that happens? Like, do you guys have anything like that where you're like, oh, I saw this and I have to watch every single thing like it, as people, not as filmmakers? Anybody? They're all, and I brought it to a standstill. Yes.
That's
Too
your goal.
broad a question.
Too broad a question. All right.
Well,
so-
I mean, like going back to Yip Man, sorry, like it
Go ahead.
even when the first one came out, like over in the US, like nobody knew what to do with it. And it wasn't until our distributor Wellgo, took a chance on it, and and it blew up, obviously. And so again, like kung fu movies, like it took a lot of time to start rolling back into the US mainstream, and it's totally in today, but back 5-10 years ago it wasn't as hot. So
Absolutely not. We were all wearing corsets back then.
I mean, I know I was.
Michael.
I'm wearing one now. What are you talking about?
So what was the spark that started this wonderfulness that is called the Paper Tigers? Like where did the story come from? I mean, is it like at any point is it autobiographical or biographical at all? Or did it just come out of your noggins?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was at a certain time in my life, kind of thinking about questioning my life choices, just thinking about movies and the industry. I was a little burnt out because there's all these things that we had kind of like expected when your hobby becomes a profession, and there's a lot of eye-opening moments that maybe aren't as pleasant as we like to think them, we just hope them to be. So I was thinking, back to things that I was really inspired by, and whether I was still inspired by it. And it was filmmaking and martial arts, and thinking about that, I was really kind of drawn to the idea of like whether the things that we kind of believed in earlier on in our lives, that we had values or hobbies or passions and goals, whether that can still have relevance for us as we get older, or do we grow out of it as we typically kind of like do. And so, I was definitely kind of thinking around that, and maybe kind of going back to your question. When I go down a rabbit hole, like it's more about thinking around a theme. Or, I'll start watching a lot of movies that are around those type of themes and stories and stuff like that. So at that time, I was watching a lot of, I was watching Big Chill, and I was like, okay, this could be like a martial arts version of the Big Chill, and all these things that we could kind of pull out from those themes of like just getting older and growing apart from each other. And that was a story that I always wanted to tell. And then it just happened to have like to reflect my upbringing in martial arts, where my classmates and we're all multiracial and just all from different backgrounds and different motivations for doing martial arts. And that's something that we always wanted to have, this diverse, tigers that are just like a really strange bunch that wouldn't be friends if not for martial arts. You know what I mean? And that's something that we had hoped that try to convey in the film. And even Carter, to an extent, is a friend, and he's a friend in that world, even though he's a frenemy. But that's the vibe and the camaraderie that we always kind of like valued in martial arts, and really wanted to kind of like tap into that.
It's the family you make.
I love that he essentially does the equivalent of mansplaining to, like, hey, let me tell you how to be Asian. Like, dude, you're white. Come down.
Yeah, they had fun with that. The actors were so good at that, and they started just riffing. So a lot of stuff you can see is like they're playing ad-libbing, off the cuff in scene. So their chemistry is like real. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that we kind of want to see. And then maybe we glossed over about part of the reason why it took 10 years to make was because our cast was diverse, and we had a story that had an Asian American and Black American and characters that weren't you could say bankable or box office guarantees. So a lot of the hesitance in raising the money was around that. So that was a story, like I said, the story that we grew up with and are reflecting our past that we wanted to be true to. So it was like a no-brainer that we were going to have a diverse cast, and so that's really what took most of the time.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I love that. I love the Big Chill too. Like I saw it a long time ago, but yeah, I could totally see that being. I did see it as like almost like a hero's journey that he takes on with his brothers, and they do it to really get their honor back, to do that, and you can see it in the beginning, and like you can see that journey, and so it was very well written.
I was gonna say, I relate to Danny so much. I'm not Asian, so I can't relate on that level. But like,
you're a deadbeat dad.
You're a liar.
No,
he tells people he's going to Magic Land and he never goes.
Exactly. No,
so really just the awesome martial artist part. I mean, it seems like you just said no to all the other parts.
Kind of. What I'm trying to get you on that is being somebody who practiced a lot of martial arts in my 20s, right? And then not practicing for a long time, and then hitting my 30s and just being like, yeah, I can fight that guy. I can beat that guy's ass. I can still do this. Knowing that I'm probably going to get my ass kicked the minute I try to fight anybody.
Oh, yeah. We're undefeated in our minds, for sure. It's like definitely that whole idea.
It's like every time he goes to go fight somebody, it's always like, yeah, I'm ready for this. He's like, shit, my hip.
Can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I know.
We've all been there.
I'm like, if I go and I want to go, I tell myself all the time, I want to go. go to the gym. I want to start sparring again. I want to start, just kind of getting back in. Like, dude, I'm in my late 30s. I'm gonna gas out guy in the middle of the ring.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, and that's a testament to Elaine, the actor who played Danny, Elaine Oye. He was just like writing that line of like having that past and potential, and then you're always kind of rooting for him, but always falling short, and so it's a really I get lost when I watch his performance, because he's just definitely runs that thing so easily, and it's just really captivating to watch, because it's just like that 2 steps forward and 1 step back type of thing. Then that character is just always like, but he's trying, right? And it's a really relatable thing that he's doing.
Yeah. The phone call when he's going to meet, the main antagonist, which I'm so sorry I forgot his name because I think I blacked it out. I don't know. And he just has that phone call with his son, and he's like telling his ex, look, if you want to have full custody, I'll sign whatever you want. Just let me say goodnight to my son. And then he says it, and that whole thing, and like he thinks he's gonna die. And so he's saying all of that. So the last words that his son hears from him is, I love you, good night, here's what you do, don't fight to be a bully, fight for the little guy. And I mean, that right there, like if you could say anything about the movie, that right there is the heart of the movie. Yeah. It's fight for the little guy, don't be the bully. And
it said so much about his character, and I loved it. Like, just I love it was this is where I call it masterful writing, is because you get that feeling that he's coming to terms with who he is and his mortality and everything. It's just, I wasn't there the way I should have been for my son, and I need to tell him I love him.
Yeah, and it's great. And it's such a little small scene. It's just him, a phone, and a camera, basically. And you guys, and it's just right there in his face, and it's it's that kind of stuff. It's those little moments that make the movie funny and heartwarming and nostalgic, and all the heartstrings are pulled. It's like you played me like a guitar.
All right. Well, fun fact, that was all AI.
Really? Oh my gosh.
AI.
Elaine didn't want to show up that day, so we were like, let's just fire up, the Unreal Engine. Start
we'll just do AI. Well, you know what?
Exactly.
Chat GPT showing an actor.
See, it made you feel something. The machines made you feel.
Oh, don't even talk about it. I can't watch like some movies like Chappie. I can't watch that because I know I'm going to cry for that freaking robot. And I'm like, oh. Like R2D2 makes me cry sometimes. Okay. So, all right. So I do have kind of a out of left field question. So of course it's mine. What was the most fun scene to film? And then on the flip side, what was the most challenging scene to film?
There was no fun scene to film. We were just constantly hairs on fire and then pants burning. We were just running around.
Y'all lost like 50
crash
pounds
test
each.
dummies. We were just. It was really. It was a tough shoot. But obviously, when I got to see the actors really at first riff together, and the first, because we didn't shoot chronologically, but the first time we had them together was actually the funeral scene. So you had Ron playing Hing, and then Matt Page playing Carter, kind of go at it, and they're a little back and forth, and Lane's just kind of groaning and just being embarrassed, and that really set the tone about how they were gonna go at each other. Matt tells this funny story because when we were filming, you usually film one side before you kind of like do the reverse, right? So we're all on seeing Ron and Elaine, Hing and Danny in their scenes. So Ron kind of gets to have the whole like get on a roll with all the insults, just throwing it back, and then Matt playing Carter, can kind of react, but it's not too crucial if he doesn't react because he's off camera. So he was just getting blasted with all these insults and stuff like that. And so then we broke for lunch, and then that meant we had to kind of flip over and film Carter's side, so Matt's side. And so Matt was talking about how like during lunch he was just like went off by himself because he was just shattered, and he had to start brainstorming more improv because he couldn't. He was like, "Don't let Ron beat you. Like, don't let him beat you." So he had to come up with more insults. And yeah, so he started, writing on the fly like different things that he could try out in lines and started getting ready. And he was really nervous. And then it came out great because by the time we got after lunch to his stuff, he was just starting throwing stuff back. What it kind of set the tone for was like there was no one. Everyone was bringing their A game, but also everyone was playing off each other and listening and being making sure they were giving each other the right setups to do the scenes and stuff like that. So it just really set up the camaraderie. And I felt like, okay, if we have this, if I screw up everything, everything else about the movie is not to what we had hoped to. At least we're going to have this kind of like rapport, and we can lean on this at the very least. So I knew you were having something special from that day.
Right, because Ron is pretty stupidly funny.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Although Carter...
Ron's Ron is like a lot of his roles are kind of this tough guy, this kind of like really like menacing figure. But he had always wanted to do a comedy. Like he's always been itching. But with the industry, sometimes you don't get the shot that you think you can do. So this was a great opportunity for both of us, for him to be able to shine, and also for us to be able to have him on our show, to have that energy on the set. It was awesome.
God, I love the running joke of the toupee. Like once it reveals that he's wearing a toupee, he's like,
that was hilarious.
Not to like reveal that he has a toupee on. It's like like fixing it on his head. It was so.
That was a Ron thing because we didn't. I mean, this is the other thing. When you read a script, you don't really know what they're going to look like, right? So Ron has at that time it's shaved head, but he insisted it was shaved because we were like, yeah, I don't know. You're kind of. He's like, I can grow it back if I want to. I just give it. He was like being the real life king. He was being like the real life king. He was like, I can grow this back. It's real. But for a man who says he can grow it back, he was like, I got all these wigs and toupees. Let me send you some models, and I'll have them on, and I'll send you some examples of what we could wear and stuff like that.
I have all these wigs and toupees, but I can.
No, he's like, I have a guy.
He has a wig guy.
Let me go to my guy, and then we'll do a fitting, and I'll send you some pictures. And I was like, okay, you have a toupee guy. All right.
What do the kids call it? Is that his drip guy?
He's a fixer. Oh, what?
his drip guy.
Drip guy. That's how he gets.
Yeah, there you go.
I only know that because of She-Hulk. I don't actually speak LA.
I only know that because I vape.
I vape. Oh my god, I totally vape.
Yeah, and that was the example where he had he had it ready, and we just kind of went with it, and we figured, and the action team saw him, and they started coming up with some ideas how to incorporate that into the fight scenes and the gags around the hair and stuff like that. So it was all organic about how we could kind of like up the character and then really make it specific to him.
Oh yeah, he was awesome. I loved him. I loved Matt too. I mean, everybody firing on all cylinders. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
I mean, again, like some of the funniest things in there were, let me Asian explain things to you.
That is awesome.
The gags, like again, those gags where like he would just say something in Mandarin, and they look at him like, dude, we don't speak that. Stop.
I loved it when they were like, can you please say that in English? Like, it was like, just say it in English, dude. It was awesome.
Does Matt actually know Mandarin like that, or did he just like learn the lines?
Phonetic. Yeah, we had to coach him on everything, and so everything was phonetic. So I think there was a time when he kind of looks off into the distance and starts reciting some Chinese poem. But what it really was, he was waiting for the dialogue coach to feed him what the line was. So we kind of used that. We used that blank look where he starts turning away into the character. So again, it all played.
Yeah, that entire scene
perfectly.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that entire scene was like really difficult to like. If you actually turned the camera and saw the crew just trying to like hold it in while he's like just because like it's off script, none of it, like he's just he's riffing the whole time, talking about the sound of whales making love, all this stuff. Like it's in our extras. If you buy the iTunes copy, you'll get the bloopers. But I mean, he's just going off on these random ass stuff about putting coconut oil on himself and wrestling with, you know, other men, you know, practicing kung fu though.
I
And
did. I loved when he said the baby oil line.
yeah,
How can anyone hit you with all that baby oil? I was just
and
like,
yeah, and so like if you actually like watch it again, the first person who actually cracks up was actually, I think it was our camera assistant. And he was our focus puller, and he was actually on the other side of the room, and he just could not hold it in. Like I think it was about it might have been about nut sacks. Um,
that would do
and
it.
he just kept going on, and we're all squirming, and finally it was our camera assistant that breaks first. So that was quite the experience. So
That's awesome.
That is ridiculously funny. Uh, so I gotta ask this: whose idea was it to have Yuji play Wing? Like, did Yuji suggest that, or was that somebody on like, was that Bao going, you know what, dude, if you played Wing, that'd be funny?
It was in his contract. He insisted. Like,
I must play.
I think we needed some cheap labor, and we just had some. It was like it worked out perfectly that he was going to play the manager, but it was just like I always knew I wanted to like figure out a cameo for him and just figure out the parts, but you know there were only so many speaking parts in the script, so it just seemed to work out that way. So yeah, it's absolutely it played really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that whole like, I know karate. I'm taking karate. That was great. It was great.
Yes. I know. So a lot of folks, maybe just to clarify, a lot of people may not know, but obviously Yuji is an actor, but he's one of the producers. He wasn't able to join today, but he's one of the key producers of the film. So he was part of that 10-year journey as well. So we were all like locked in to try to make this movie from the production point of view. But him jumping in to be the actor was kind of a bit of a moment for him to kind of like relax, but maybe not relax too much because everything was burning and everything was on fire as we were filming. So.
yes.
He was probably he's like, no, I need a break. Let me act.
We also inserted his wife in because like the part where the guy gets the death touch and he collapses on the table. We'll hit the man's wife is actually Yuji's wife.
Oh,
The
that's
one,
so cool.
Yeah, she helps him up, and then there's also a famous line of hers of asking, where's the wine? So we always tease her about that one, and then I think Yuji's daughters were also sitting at that table, so we kind of filled everyone around that restaurant with people we know. So
Did you notice these guys in their cameos?
No,
I
they
noticed
didn't.
Michael.
Don't keep. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I didn't notice.
How do you know
How
it?
dare
Alan.
you? How
Take
dare
off your
you?
glasses, Alan. How do you know it wasn't
Right.
Alan's without his glasses?
That's true. Like I could be Michael.
I've only seen it. I only have seen it once. Well, I watched it again today. So, but just so I could have it. But I was more paying attention to like, okay, what would I want to ask? Kind of thing. So yeah. So I'll definitely watch it again. My husband and my son, I want them both to watch it. So I will definitely be watching it with them. Trust me. So I'll be like, I'm just gonna be looking at him like this.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Like,
We
Huh?
They used to be like,
We
oh, wait,
actually
this is my
appear
favorite
more.
part coming up right now.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god.
We'll
this
give
is
you
so
the hint.
funny.
It's in the Kung Fu School. So Dan, also another producer who was able to join today. The
Right.
three of these guys were cameos at the Kung Fu School
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
at Carter
And
School.
we
Yeah.
actually appear like right in front of camera, so you won't be able to miss us. So.
I'll be like,
They
oh
tried
my
to say a
God.
val, but I was like, no, we can't afford it.
Bao just kept saying, cut.
Yeah.
Y'all are
That was
too
actually-
pretty. You
that
just
was
you
actually
just be
one of
pretty
our,
over there.
That was actually one of our roughest nights of shooting because that location that we were shooting at, we were like 3 hours over schedule. The people who ran the thing were just pissed and wanted us out there. There had been an actual fire, an actual dumpster fire there.
Oh,
Someone had to put out, and we were getting pretty upset. And Bao's like, well, you know, your part's coming up. We should get you on camera. It's like, we don't have fucking time for this, guy. We cannot do this. But as soon as you get us in costume, and as soon as the makeup person is paying attention to you, suddenly you're like, this is kind of fun. You know?
Yeah,
We get back there, and you know, we forget about being producers, and we're back in the room just hanging out with Matt, and then we go out. We're like, oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. And so, good job, Bao. Smart.
Literally, when Bao said cut, I was fuming. I was like, man, we're like overtime, all this shit. Okay, and action. Da, 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 da. You know, like I was like, yeah, it worked. Son of a bitch.
That's how easy it is, right? Just like, okay, how do you distract the producers?
Puppets again, puppets, right?
So in the chat, just because it's relevant, so James is asking, how has it been connecting with other Asian American storytellers like Dante Bosco?
It's weird. We've been in each other's orbit, like pretty much all the Asian American filmmakers coming up. We've been in each other's orbit for 10, 20 years at the Asian American film festivals, at community events. So, and it's a really supportive group. So we're always running into each other. We're always happy to see each other, shouting out each other's projects, sometimes even helping out each other's projects.
Yeah, Michael and I ran into Dante at the premiere of Ron's movie that was on Netflix for the new installment of 47 Ronin. And I think Michael pulls me over and he was like, "Hey, meet Dante," and I was like, "The fuck?" And then like I meet Dante, and then like Dante was just like, "Oh, hi, I'm Dante," and I'm like, "I know who the fuck you are." Like, I was just like, and then he was like, "Yeah, man, like I've watched your movie," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like it's one of those moments where you're just like, it doesn't click that like all of these people, like Michelle Yeoh has watched our movie, like all these people have watched our movie, and it's just like, you've grown up seeing these people, and really like looking up to them, and then to finally like, be in the same industry, and then it's a literal what the fuck moment, right? Like Dante's introducing himself to you. You're just like, no, you don't introduce yourself to me. Like I have to introduce myself to you. Like it's like, so yeah, it's a cool experience, and it's cool to kind of be in the trenches with all these pretty talented filmmakers during this time.
When
Bao and I were,
go ahead, Mike.
When Bao and I were first pitching the project at basically this sort of speed dating pitch fest that the Los Angeles Asian American Film Festival put on, and you would go to you'd go from table to table with a bunch of people from the industry.
Oh, it is speed dating.
Your idea, and what we didn't realize at the time was that everyone who was there was just there as a favor to some of the people who run the festival. It's not like they were really had all this money to make the movies. We didn't know that, so we're pitching all these things, and we're at a table with Daniel Day Kim and a couple.
Oh, wow.
And we're sitting there, and Daniel Day Kim is really engaged, but the guy next to him is on his phone and really not paying attention to the pitch. And Daniel Day Kim stops us. He puts his hand on the guy, says, "Can you put that down and pay attention to these guys?" I was like, we've made it. That's all that needed to happen.
When Daniel Day Kim tells somebody to stop.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's been good.
I love you.
Yeah, he's like, "I see you," or like
yeah. I feel seen. I feel seen.
I mean, that's a big deal. Daniel Day Kim is a pretty big name.
Yeah. So
yes.
It's wild because like when we were making the film, there was a Marshall Club, Andy Lee and Brian Lee are in our film, and at that time they were starting to do Shang-Chi and Everything Everywhere All at Once. They were filming because they were like between stuff, and Andy was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get ready to go to Sydney, for a film." And I was like, "Oh, what film?" And he's like, I guess he was like NDA'd or something, but he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like a Marvel movie." I'm like, "Okay, that's nice." And then he was mentioning this other thing. Let me stop
breathing for a second.
Yeah, well, and then which is great for us because I mean, if they do better, it's like definitely rising tide.
I was like, "Do they need a director?"
Yeah, I was like, who's directing this little Marvel film of yours?
Disney tends to hire a lot of indie directors. So I mean, it's not out of the cards, because if they look at your movie and say, "Oh, the director of Paper Tigers," one, you're gonna get like a lot of attention because you directed Paper Tigers. But then like two, like that's like a step in the right direction. I mean, because one of the questions I was gonna ask next, and this is like all in the same realm, is with Simu Liu getting like more leading roles and things that aren't locked into like traditional Asian characters, like he's getting lead roles. Like, how do you guys feel about like the direction Asian representation is slowly starting to get in American cinema?
I think it's great. I think a lot of work still needs to be done. I think, it's still the creators that have to kind of push out stuff, because at the end of the day, the industry still is risk averse. So even if you have great success or great, everything everywhere all at once, I'm not sure if we're going to like see a whole spate of multiverse films. It just doesn't quite often work that way. But it was just like, it's just baby steps, and that just really upon the creators to kind of keep going and keep, pushing the films that they believe that can happen, because all the safe mentality is still exists, unfortunately, or whatever. So it's just something that we still have to kind of keep fighting through. But it's great to have these breakthroughs and these big, splashy films that can come out that we can kind of point to and say, like, listen, it's been done before. Like we there's a track record, so we can definitely point to the potential of what we're trying to do next.
I think I'd feel a little more comfortable when we have actual money or an actual studio behind pushing Asian American stories. Like where's our Tyler Perry, where he just starts this whole thing and he becomes his own industry. Once we get to that point, I think I'll feel more comfortable. Then we'll be in a better space.
Yeah, I think it's still, we have to be entrepreneurial. Like Tyler Perry, is really respected because what he's kind of built, and be able to kind of like almost sidestep the whole industry and just not really have to kind of like please the right people, but he was able to kind of make his own table and do it. And I think that's kind of like power and privilege that we have to kind of build up to be able to do it, because again, it's just like a lot of these studios might say they have into diversity, and really kind of like go down that world of building more stories about different races and creeds and orientations and all that, but usually they just kind of treat it as a quota. Like, we hired one Asian writer, so that's going to be our Asian movie for our whole slate. Like like there's a more to the experience. We hired a black director, so that's our black movie. And it's like they just kind of check the boxes. So it's like once the money people can kind of realize that it needs to be a lot more organic and a lot more what it is, it's just not ticking the boxes. Like you get a lot more stories and experiences than people that can bring their skills and talents to the screen. So embrace that.
Yeah, diversity is, I think it's key in everything. You're gonna I feel like the stories at their essence are the same. It's just the perspective that's different as far as that goes. Like, you can tell it in different ways, but really, I mean, a hero's journey is a hero's journey. How you frame it, what kind of beautiful things you put on it, it still comes down to that. So I mean, there are a lot of stories that can be told in any perspective. So I do like that, and I do agree. I think that they're me being this person that I am, but no,
Scarlett Johansson, you mean?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. I'm gonna change my name now. I'm gonna be ScarJo 2.0. But no, I love that. I try as hard as I can to watch all the genres so that I can see that. I'm not a big fan of horror. Yes, I have watched some horror movies, but I'm not a big fan of horror. Grady B knows this. I know. But
I was gonna say, you're just going into realms of just offending Graveyard.
It's a like everyday occurrence. I think I offend him at least once a day. But yeah, no, and I love that, and I would love to see more like that, because there's so many untapped markets and stories that can be told that are just beautiful. And and if I had all the money in the world, I would definitely start a company. You guys could just do whatever movies you wanted.
Then what James has as a question is, I was going to ask this too, is there plans for a sequel to this?
If there is, I hope it doesn't take 10 years.
Neither do we, because we want to watch it now.
Right.
Yes.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
Right.
crazy. It's really flattering that everyone again, it's been a weird what do you call it? I guess fractured experience kind of releasing the film because we released in the middle of a pandemic and we went to streaming and VOD and then Netflix and all that stuff. So it was one of the things like we're just sitting on our couches as we all were for the last 2 years in the middle of the pandemic, just sitting in watching films on our couch. So we never really had the experience of like what an audience would look like or what it looks like, watching this with a crowd. So you never really know how well it's doing. Like even Netflix or the streaming numbers, they're kind of a closed system. They don't really tell the filmmakers, how well it's doing exactly. So you never have that satisfaction of just obviously seeing a crowd and everyone's laughing and whooping and hollering at a movie that we all love. Like we just never had that. And so it's great to kind of have this experience on podcasts and then some of the screenings that we were able to go to and just talk to people one-on-one and just have those, like all the love. At Comic-Con, it was a packed house. Like I think we were all like pretty pleasantly surprised. We didn't realize like what a turnout it was going to be. What we had a packed house and standing room only, and all the love and questions for sequel, obviously. So like the love has been really overwhelming. And so yeah, I mean, if the time is right and the story is right, we'll definitely want to kind of come through on that for sure.
Was that the first time you guys had been to Comic-Con, like ever?
I've been going for like
Yeah.
the last 20, 30 years, but
Oh, okay.
my favorite part of Comic-Con is we're walking up to the line. We're walking up to the room that we're supposed to be in, and there's this line outside, and we're like, "Are you guys? What's the next thing after us? Are you guys all waiting for that one?" He's like, "No, we're trying to get into that. It's packed." And we walk in, and like everyone's just cheering. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to ask the audience, like, are you guys here for the Paper Tigers? And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, oh shit, like, and to be honest, I think we had happy hour right before, so I was like, but I was feeling good, and I was just like, oh my god, like, it almost
Man,
felt
and
like I
that-
had some Dubby energy. Blood.
There we go. Oh, look at
there you
this.
go.
Oh my gosh, you have it.
Wow.
So, little known fact, I used to work Comic-Con a while ago. I did some pre-registration stuff. So I met all the artists and comic book people and stuff. So I totally get the experience. Was it just amazing to have that like wall of applause and just like having that energy in the room? Because as a fan, I know what it feels like, but being on that stage, was that just like nirvana for you guys?
It was surreal. I would say. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was also
my-
the first time that I think a lot of the cast and crew had been together because this is obviously when we saw Andy and Brian, this was a post, Everything Everywhere All at Once and and Shang-Chi. So it was just cool to kind of see everyone doing the glow ups. And then we were all in the space that we were like, had something special and, that people wanted to see it. So that was a wild thing as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys had such a good experience, because if you hadn't, I would have definitely got on the phone and talked to some people, because
That's
you
right.
know that's supposed
right.
to be that's supposed to be like the Disney World of Comic-Con right there. So
I found the bottled water a little too still.
I'm gonna get right on that for you, Val.
That's right. That's right.
Val gets up there on the stage, takes a sip of water, and does a spit take. Oh, this is swill.
Ted Lasso all over again.
That's right.
You call that water?
Peasants, get me more.
Looks like our
See
buddy
somebody
Brian
going,
is in the-
just like
Brian is in the chat.
putting
So,
bubbles
like,
in it.
last piece.
So,
Yeah, shout out to Brian, Wuxia man.
Yes, he's been in the chat.
Hey, shout out.
I think I met Brian in I think Comic-Con.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Michael, we kind of talked about your Kickstarter and that you auditioned. You still didn't really tell us like really who you wanted to play. You said who you auditioned for. But if you could go back, not 10 years, just like when you started filming, who would you have wanted to play?
Oh, this is like me saying that the person I could do a better job than the person.
No,
that I
okay, so
say.
let's
Oh my
just take
God.
that
Yeah,
out of it.
he won't
Let's
say
take
it,
all
but
the
I remember
actors
on
out
set.
of
On
it.
set, we were filming with Josiah, who plays Ed, Danny's son. So Ed was in a scene, and I looked over and Michael at behind Video Village, and he kept mouthing the dialogue for the kid. And I was like, what are you doing?
Uh,
So
Aw.
Michael
And he
wants
was like, smile.
He's all,
oh,
"Hi."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
no, what has to happen is I have to replace Ken Kittigwa as Gen Fan, because
Oh.
he's
Yeah.
got
You
injury,
can-
he just can't perform, and I just
Yeah.
got to go in and take my shirt off. You have to use all these low angles to make me look like taller. Spray paint on a 6-pack. I just shaved all this body hair. That'd be great.
So sequel. So if they do sequel, you'll get a part in that, right?
Oh yeah,
He's gonna play Ed as an adult.
There you go. There you go.
people go like, "What the fuck happened to you, man?"
I'm
What's
like,
up, Dad?
"Eh,
How
the
old are
fuck?"
you? I'm 14.
My voice
Ed, you look like
changed. Oh my
shit.
god.
I need to go shave.
Now the best part is Michael acting would be like, he could just like do like a variation of his voice so he could be a teenager. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey guys,
It's okay.
is everyone doing kung fu?
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
That'll be my catchphrase.
Yeah. That would be awesome. I get James just said he just said, I know there's a question of sequels, but the trend is now building a universe. So maybe not a sequel, but a side story or a story from a separate POV. Like, we gonna Cobra Kai this or what? That's what he's asking. So I think just let me go ahead and translate. So instead of a sequel, would you guys be more apt to do like maybe a story of a different character, like the story of what happened to Carter and how he got Sifu, or like
and how he got so buff?
yeah, or like maybe
I have the answer to that. I do.
Well, they addressed it in the movie.
Steroids.
That's right. Just like a
You're
little
just-
15-minute short of him just like shooting up.
That'd be funny if you're expecting like an 80s montage of him like working out and stuff like that, but each shot is actually him injecting himself. It's like, yeah.
Playing the song "Push It to the Limit."
Yeah.
Or Karen, like
The best part is like you would have like total synthwave playing in the background. It's like like that badass montage scene, but it's just him shooting up every time.
Yeah.
And
him
he's
shooting up
never
while
lifting.
he's reading books about like how he can make confusing riddles to people.
The best part would be it starts when he's like 17 and skinny still, right? And it's just like, no, Mom, leave me alone.
What if it's like that movie Gridlock, but it's actually his journey of like being addicted to steroids and then coming down and then coming back up, and it's all Matt Page. That'd be great.
That would be
It's like
funny.
it's like Steve Rogers. It was basically
Yeah, oh my God, just sitting around.
Or as I like to affectionately call John Walker, Johnny Mayo.
Johnny Mayonnaise, yes.
yeah.
Actually, we could just get Mark, who played young Carter, to like, and we could just
There you go.
blend the
Just one of them.
AI blending.
AI. There you go.
We'll shoot on the volume. It'll be great.
There you go. That's not expensive at all.
Done.
No.
Sequel right there.
Boom.
So we're gonna start getting into the next thing because we do a bracket on the show. You guys are more than welcome to stay on if you want to join us for the bracket. But I have some closing questions for you here. And the bracket.
Close it out.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the bracket. By the way, we're doing worst MCU movies. No, sorry, worst Marvel movies that aren't a part of the MCU.
Misfit Marvels is what I'm calling it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing like Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher.
Mhm.
Yeah, different things like that.
What? That's a dope movie.
Are these the worst?
That sounds pretty
The
awesome.
gold standard. We're talking about gold standard.
I
Exactly.
think we should have you guys help us with the bracket because I think your reactions might just be because I'm usually the one that's like, but I love this movie because it's so bad,
Well,
so.
the only reason I'm giving them an out is because I also want to respect their time. But
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys,
if you
don't
guys
have,
have the
we understand.
time, feel free to stay. But
I
let's
gotta grab another beer and then maybe.
Let's talk these wrap up questions real quick. So, real quick here. Actually, I'm gonna do these other ones. What would be the worst movie sequel ever made?
Schindler's List 2.
Oh, damn.
That
I like that.
one for Val.
Wow. Hands down. That
I don't think you can top that.
I can't beat that one.
It'd be like an
I don't
Indiana
know.
Jones movie where he's like trying to find a crystal skull.
That's horrible.
That'd be a terrible idea.
I was gonna say one of our co-hosts, like one of our past co-hosts, his idea was Passion of the Christ 2 Resurrection reboot.
That sounds awesome.
I think there was a Mad TV sketch, wasn't there? It was kind of like he was like the Terminator, and during
Oh
that sketch,
yeah.
yeah.
He keeps resurrecting.
That's awesome.
Right.
Alan's not going to give us one. He's just going to piggyback
No,
off that.
I can't beat those. Those are pretty good.
All right. If you guys were on a 10-hour flight, now this is past, present, dead, alive, anybody in history. If you were
Not on the flight. You're not dead on the
No.
flight.
If you were on
Somebody,
a
it
10-hour
could be
flight-
anybody, is what he's saying.
right, who would you most like to sit next to and why?
Amelia Earhart.
I want to find out where she went. Why did you disappear?
Where did you go?
I'll never let you out of my sight.
Why did you say that name? Okay.
That's right.
Have you guys watched Physical 100?
I have not yet. I know it's on
haven't.
Netflix. And
This is top of mind, but I do want to have. It's a Korean show where it's they have all of these obstacles and like all of these crazy jacked up people come in, and you know they're pulling like for example there's a ship that they have to drag as a team, and it weighs like a couple tons or something like that, right? And so like they're all physically fit weightlifters and everything, but I do want to be on a plane with one of the contestants that is like completely ripped, and for the whole 10 hours just explain what he did wrong on the show, and just kind of explain, you know, like how he can perfect his technique and stuff like that. But like as I'm eating something, like a hot dog, so you know your technique is like complete shit, you know.
Like little bits of hot dog coming out of your mouth.
And just disagree with anything that he says about his technique. It's
So
like,
does
no.
this mean we know who Carter is based off of?
Hey, that's a compliment.
Oh God.
Michael.
Oh, Kristen Kruk from Smallville.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
is
no,
she
you
actually
should-
going to talk to me, or like I'm just sitting next to her for 10 hours?
No,
Well,
you
I
get
assume
to
in
talk to
10
her.
hours you're going to
Just
talk
sweating.
to her.
No, Michael's
He'd-
just staring and she's not
He'd
talking.
be like,
Just awkward staring the entire time. Why are you
slowly get closer and closer. Well, you know, she was in for like a split second in that cult, that Nexium thing. I'm a huge
That's
like
right.
cult
It was on
true
Nexium.
crime. Yeah, and she left because she was like, he's creepy, I'm leaving. And yeah, no,
Was she
I would
a
totally
cult?
sit next to her. I'd be like,
Is that the
I
one
want to
where
know what
Co-Star
happened.
started? The blonde girl?
Yeah, Allison Mack. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was in
Oh,
that.
that's right.
So yeah, that Kristen, I was like, yeah, I would totally ask her about all of that.
Cults are creepy.
So she's susceptible to charm, I think.
There you go.
So you're telling me
Not
there's a
super
chance.
susceptible because she got out of that cult before it got its
So
paws.
it's
in
only
her.
10 hour
There's a
flight,
chance.
Yeah, you got a shot, Michael. You could do it. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 hours. I'm married, so you know what happens in international waters.
Stays
Saying
in
I have a
over
chance.
international water.
Mike was like, I had a chance from the beginning. I don't know what you're talking about. And then what are you guys currently nerding out on? So we talked about what you guys nerded out on as kids, but what are you guys nerding out on now?
Please say Mandalorian. Please say Mandalorian. Please. No, I'm just kidding.
Mando who?
Lorian's a little hit or miss for me.
Amanda, what do you?
I'm watching The Expanse. I like to wait till the show is completely over and then I can just watch it in one shot. So
It's like binge it all.
Have you read the books? A chance?
I have not.
They're great. They really are.
So funny enough, Aaron Watson, the guy who runs our OnlyFans, remember it's just pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and Mando.
You have OnlyFans?
No, we don't really have an OnlyFans. It's just a running joke on the show.
Michael was logging in. He was like, "Oh, no."
Michael's like, OnlyFans. Wow, let me see.
A man's feet and
Kristen
Mandals.
Crock picture.
Love Mandals. No, Aaron Watson. He's been telling us forever that we need to watch The Expanse. So it's like,
well, they're kickstarting because there's 9 books in the series as a whole, and it's about a book-ish and a half, I think, per season. And yeah, the books are great. And they're doing a Kickstarter for a video game, I think, to explore the next season.
well,
That's cool.
you know,
A video game after that? That'd be awesome. Sorry.
You know, Amazon Studios was created because Bezos was watching The Expanse with his son, and when they canceled it, he was like, his son wanted it back, and he basically bought a studio so he can make The Expanse.
Oh, that's yeah, cool.
You're gonna say, "Oh, that's
Fuck you,
awesome," but
money.
what a dick. Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Thanks, Bezos. So, how about you, Alan and Bea?
I recently got a PS5, so I'm into God of War right now.
Yes.
It's an amazing game. I
Yes.
love it so much. So
Who
yeah, I
doesn't
think
love a
recently-
shirtless bearded man? Come
There
on.
you go.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
We have one on our show.
Also bald. I mean, come on.
Michael, show your tattoo.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Oh,
Yes. Come on, we're gonna put that on our OnlyFans.
Come on.
He said, James in the chat, he said, get Bezos Jr. to watch Paper Tigers.
yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Shout out to Bezos Jr.
If that's his name,
If that's
It is
his
now.
that's what he's going to be known for because of our show. There we go.
There you go. Okay, Bao.
For me, I guess I'm really nerding out on whatever show or movie or DC or Marvel that will hire me.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
hire him.
I was
Or
gonna ask
Star Wars.
you
You know, I'm really into the Star Wars.
the Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say.
Civil
I was
War?
gonna ask all of you, like, would you guys do? Obviously, you would do it for the money, and probably, but like, would you guys want to do? I was thinking Defenders. I was thinking you guys could do a really
No,
kick-ass
we're
Defenders.
artists.
You're artists. Those aren't true films.
We're indie.
That is not.
We're so
cinema.
indie. Yeah. Exactly.
Shut up, Al. Shut up, Al. Marvel's.
Would you like to make a film about a white man who's perpetuating the Asian stereotype?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Wait, you already did that. Never mind.
There you go. Didn't they try to do the Defenders? That happened, right? Or
They
no?
did it,
Why?
they did
It
it
was
on
great.
Netflix. Yeah.
It was good.
That's
I
a whole
liked it a
season?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only meant to be one
Oh.
season. Defenders
Yeah.
was great.
That's
I thought it was really good. I loved all the shows.
that's where my Iron Fist joke came from.
Mm.
Of course, we'd want you to recast Danny Rand. I mean, I'm not
You know what?
saying that.
He wasn't a bad Danny Rand. The bad choice was that they didn't do stunt doubles and they made him do the martial arts, and he had to learn it in a week. And then,
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a unbalanced performance. We'll say that.
He's a bad Danny Rand because for decades they've just been saying make him Asian American. It's like a no-brainer. It's just
Yeah.
short-sighted
Yeah.
and frankly stupid.
Yeah, and
They should just spin it off for Jessica Henwick. That's
There
really
you
one.
go.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
She
Really
was
what I wanted.
so good in that.
Yeah.
I love her.
I honestly thought they were going to make Daughters of the Dragon. That's really what I wanted, was to see her and Misty Knight just go and kick ass, and they kind of
Oh,
did
yeah.
that in season 2. But like, yeah, they kind of ended it with her having the powers of the Iron Fist, and of course it got canceled after that. So
Yeah. But, I just, when I was watching the Paper Tigers, I was like, man, they would really kick ass on a Defenders movie. Because, it's the brotherly
Spread the word.
and the,
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Oh.
From your lips. Yeah.
I'll be all over Twitter about it.
Yeah.
I'll be, you want me to say something to James Gunn?
Tag
What'd you get-
Bezos.
What do you guys
tag
wanna
me and
do?
Bezos
I
and
thought you didn't
Hashtag
get
Bezos
Twitter, though.
Jr.
What do you guys want to do for DC? Let me see if I can get you something. I gave you a little something.
what we need you to do is get new rock stars to say something, and then
Oh, yeah.
maybe it'll get put here. Fun fact. Yeah. Frey Girl is a moderator for New Rockstars.
Yeah, I do that.
Oh.
I'm humble. It's not that big of a deal. I don't get him coffee. I can't even get him coffee. Like, it's not even that, so
Busy getting us coffee.
I don't get coffee. You understand that? I've already said that. I've said that several times. I
Careful.
don't do coffee.
Val's gonna bust out the kicks soon. What is this shit?
If you support our Kickstarter, I promise you, I will be the next Danny Rand. That's what he's going to do right there.
There you go. No, I'm not going to be the next Danny Rand. Nope. No.
Well, no, I'm saying Michael will play the next Danny Rand.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Michael
yeah,
could be
I
the
could
next
go to
Danny
Ron's
Rand.
wig guy.
There you go. His drip dealer. Go to his drip dealer.
And the thing is, we've never seen Ron's wig guy, so for all you know, it could just be Ron.
Right.
Just going through his closet.
He's
Ron in a
just like
certain
going off
wig.
screen. He's just like, hey, I think this wig is really good. Oh, yeah.
I'm talking to my wig guy
Wig
right
guy.
now.
Yeah.
The guy is Ron.
All you see is hair because it's another wig.
Wig guy is a wig.
Well, if you want something to nerd out on, he just directed a film called 47 Ronin, and it's on Netflix right now. So
I'm gonna have
if
to
you want to
watch.
see more Ron directing. Does he have a cameo? He doesn't have a cameo, does he?
He does not,
I
but
don't
it's
think so.
a it's
Does
a
not.
banger of a cast.
I'm
you go.
already sold on it.
Yoshi Sudarso, who plays the young Danny in our film, is in it as well.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, my husband loves Asian, like all Asian films. He's all about that.
Actually,
Luckily, you finished that because you stopped at Asian. I was like, where is this going?
loves all
He was born in Okinawa. He is half Japanese. Thank you very much. So he is an Asian. I love all Asians. That's
Oh.
my gamer tag on Xbox is actually Gaijin Ronin,
Oh.
based on the 47 Ronin. It's
there you
basically,
go.
and mainly
Oh.
because my clan.
It's the 48th Ronin. That just
Yeah, I know, right?
didn't make the cut.
Didn't get the call back.
I auditioned, but
You came late to the seppuku, the 48th Ronin just
There
came
you go.
Do it.
Like, oh,
Yeah, I'm
oh,
ready. What?
Oh gosh, what time is it? I missed
I
it.
auditioned. They said no.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's because our clan was the 47 Lordless. So I named myself the Gaijin Ronin.
Oh, there you go. At least you're not the kaiju Ronin.
Yeah, I guess that's. I mean, I'd be fine being a kaiju Ronin. All right, let's do the wrap up questions here, guys. I'm gonna ask you the hardest question that you've ever been asked in your entire careers and lives. Okay, you ready for this?
No.
Is this rapid fire?
No, well, kind of. What is your favorite kind of taco?
Lengua.
Ooh, he knows his shit.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I do carne asada.
Seattle. I don't know.
The crispy pork. What's that one?
Depends on which one you're talking about, carnitas or
Oh, carnitas. Yes. No, it's also what's in there. They're like the crunchy, kind of crunchy, crispy. Must be that.
Al
I don't know.
pastor is like that. So if you're talking al pastor, like I always say all the time, as a Latino, our gauge for how good a taco spot is how good their al pastor is.
Yeah,
Ah,
al pastor is good. I love those.
what are you looking
tacos.
for? What's the giveaway?
So a lot of it is the flavor. A lot of it has to do with kind of like, well, part of it is also like the how tender the meat is itself. But the flavor of the al pastor itself. A lot of times, depending on what region it's from, sometimes they'll put way too many onions on it. So like, and it'll drown out the flavor. So it's really just a balance is what you're looking for in the flavor of a carnitas. And then again, just like you don't want it to be slimy, because sometimes
No.
it can happen too. You kind of want it to be like almost nice and crispy because it's really it's barbecued pork for the most part.
Yummy.
There was something that I saw on Instagram, like in LA. There's sort of kind of a cross-cultural food where they've been making tacos and they fill it with like pho stuff, like Vietnamese, like
Oh,
seasoning,
yeah.
and like they kind of like soak it in the pho broth, and then they drain it, and then they put it in a taco. I would say I'd love to like taste that. Like that's something that like I was just like, what is that about? LA
Why don't you
has
come
everything.
down when Bow's over.
Oh, there
Working
you
on
go.
it. Working
Unfortunately,
on it.
Jerry, did I tell you Jerry canceled? He had to bail.
Oh, we're just airing Jerry's dirty laundry on this podcast. There we go.
If you guys
Jerry
want to
just
know
couldn't make it.
Damn it, Jerry!
artist
Jerry.
knows where
No.
Jerry Ma is gonna be, it's not LA. So
Michael.
Also a Comic-Con regular.
Ah.
Yeah.
Michael, what about you?
oh, I said lengua, but
You said first.
are y'all
Oh, you say?
are you guys located in LA?
No, we're in Sacramento.
Oh,
Or at least
I,
I'm in
I-
Sacramento.
I'm in
I-
Oklahoma.
We're not.
Yeah, we're both Midwest.
I was
Graveyard and
born
I are
in
Midwest.
Sacramento and I grew up in Lodi, California.
No, dude, I was in Lodi today.
To get gas or wine.
So my regular 9 to 5 job, I was working in Lodi today.
Wow. Yeah.
Lodi has actually expanded a lot in the last couple of years. There's a
Oh, yeah.
lot more housing out
Since
there
you left.
Yeah.
I did live in San Diego. That's how I worked at the con. But I did live there for a while. My son was born in San Diego, so yeah. Not that you guys needed to know that, I'm sure, but
Well, it's because we shared about Jerry, and you felt like you had to share
yeah,
about.
I needed to, air some dirty laundry myself.
Damn it, Jerry! All right. So was that everybody for their favorite kind of taco?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, sweet. So what's some advice you might give for anybody who's trying to get into the industry?
Oh gosh, this
Don't do it.
question. Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
We don't need the competition and it sucks.
We need jobs.
Everyone who asked me that, do you remember Carlito's Way? Benny Blanco from the Bronx. I always think of like they're gonna shank me sometime on a set, like I'm the director now, and they just like
Right. Yeah.
hostile takeover. So I never encourage young people.
They're looking for weakness. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. All right. Again, another hard question. Another hard thing.
Don't do it.
Who would win in a fight, Jackie Chan or Danny in his prime?
Oh.
It depends where they are. If they're in a garage, Jackie Chan will kick the shit out of them with a ladder and a cardboard box and everything. But if you're out in the middle of a field, Jackie Chan has nothing to fight you with, except for like a blade of grass, which he might kill you with. But
Right.
yeah, it depends where you're
Pick
at.
the location. Home improvement
Pick the
store or complete bare
Oh my god.
desert.
Jackie Chan at Home Depot is like unstoppable.
Jackie Chan at Home
Unstoppable.
Depot.
Jackie Chan at Home Depot.
That's awesome.
Oh God.
I don't know why did Jackie Chan never have like a utility belt like Batman? See, that's the real like meeting of the minds on that one. That's really what Jackie Chan is Batman.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually,
Utility belt.
yeah.
Would he have Chan repellent instead of bat repellent? But on the show, they had shark repellent that was called,
Bat repellent.
yeah. So you're like, sorry.
I don't know
So-
the reference.
I mean, he wouldn't be Batman. He would have to be Chan Man for that to work, and he's a
Chan Man.
character.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Because it would have to be Chan Man so he could have Chan repellent.
There you go. There
Sounds
you
too
go.
racist.
That does sound
it
racist.
was.
How dare I? How dare I?
That sounds even more terrible when saying it out loud. So I mean, like,
It really does. Philip, how could you put that in the script? How dare you? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, because I'm famously racist is what it is. Just God, that was terrible.
I was gonna say we've hit all of the bases here. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting canceled tomorrow. That's happening.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So, guys, what's next for you? What's the next thing you guys got going on your plate here?
Apparently the sequel. Like I feel like everyone's just
Oh my God, I feel like I have to get back to work.
Okay, so you guys are
I
gonna
was
make.
just gonna ride the wave here, and then but apparently people just clamoring for more. So I guess I gotta feed the alligators.
Yeah, you guys are making a sequel. Can you let me know when you're casting? Because I want to audition for extra number 32, standing in the background.
Oh well, Michael might.
Yeah.
Get in line,
Said
man.
32.
Yeah.
They
You
said
had
they
to
didn't
say
want
32,
anybody new
yeah.
in the business, Phil.
Yeah. Get in line, Phil. Get on your knees. Guaranteed.
We're playing that Hollywood trope. Okay, wait a minute.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Just get ready for the greatest experience of your life. That's a lie. It's so disappointing. All right.
Just know, Michael, he judges by the carnitas.
Absolutely do. Judge by the carnitas.
Oh, there for a second, I thought you were going to say nut set because the line in the movie.
I zigged and used that. You know, you thought I
I
zig, I
loved
jag.
it. No, that was good.
Oh God! Again, we're getting canceled. This is not going on Comic-Con Radio. Let's just throw kidding. So where can everybody follow you, find out more about you guys and everything you guys are doing?
If you
Not
didn't hear
Twitter.
that, okay, I was going to say it.
I'm on Twitter.
Oh yeah. But you can
Yeah,
follow,
you
the
find me
Paper
on all the
Tigers.
social handles. Paper Tigers, the papertigersmovie.com. You'll be able to kind of like fan out from there. All our links are on there.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys can see it at the
Instagram
bottom of the
and
screen right
everything.
there.
Any other shout outs you want to do? Anything?
Uh,
Talk about Jerry and how he's not there anymore.
Mikkel, who plays Jim in the movie, he's got a movie that he wrote and directed called Gods 2. It's actually a sequel to another movie he wrote and directed. That's out streaming now. Matthew Page, Carter, he's got a pretty lean, mean, slow burn of a thriller called Cop vs. Killer. That's on the festival circuit now. But when it comes out, definitely watch out for it.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
again, you guys are welcome to stay. Oh God, we're done. We're over in about 7 minutes here.
Yeah.
I'm actually almost done with Groot though, so I think if Grave and Frey, if you guys don't mind staying a little bit longer, we can
Yep.
do.
I
No, that's
don't.
fine.
I'm not doing the live show tonight after this, so I'm good to
Oh.
stay.
Okay, so if you guys don't mind staying for a little bit, up to you. If you guys got to go,
Yeah.
you got to go. So we're not offended if you got to go.
We appreciated the time that you gave us. If you would
Thank
like
you.
to
It's
stay,
great
you are
being
more
here.
welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Fun, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And do
It's
we have to
amazing.
upload or anything? Or maybe you should tell us. Is there? Or do we just drop?
We're on now.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
I used to one of these
Oh,
StreamYards
can I-
before, and you had to wait for an upload. But okay.
Oh no, we're
No,
we're
no.
good.
Oh,
right.
no, I know what you're saying. No, don't worry about that.
Okay, copy.
So yeah, so the this is live right now.
Hey. Well,
We'll be on.
let me
as
have my
soon as
PR
we can.
handler come on.
I'm calling my lawyer right now.
Recorded shit. All right.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, this will go on Comic-Con Radio. So once it goes on live on Comic-Con Radio,
Yeah.
we'll tag you guys.
Sweet.
Right on. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
It
everyone
was so
who's
nice to
dialed
meet
in
you
and on the
guys.
chat. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks,
Shout
guys.
out to poddex.com. Go code nerding10 for 10% off.
Oh my gosh.
And the
Wow.
Persian energy mix.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
There we
You
go.
have to do the
Shout out
person.
Dubby.
That's going to be a
Thanks,
running
guys.
joke now. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys
so
have
much.
been amazing. Thank you so much. We had
Thank
so
you.
much fun.
Thank
Guys,
You guys,
Thank you.
you guys are welcome to come back anytime if you want to. So just let me know.
Awesome. For the next movie,
Right.
let's go.
Yeah, let's do
All right.
it.
All right, guys.
Extra number 32.
Extra number 32, like
There you
the movie starring Phil as extra number 30.
Young Phil, extra 32. That's going to be.
I might actually go by my real name and I go by on a podcast.
All right, peace out, guys.
All
Bye,
right,
guys.
Bye.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Wait, so what happens after in the last 7 minutes?
Oh, we're
Yeah,
doing a bracket of the worst non-MCU Marvel movies. If you want to hang out, you totally can.
Yeah, you just basically vote on what movies you think are the worst.
Do you
Yeah,
already have
Graveyard-
the list? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a bracket, so it's like
Okay.
everybody, and then like the two main, they fight, and then whoever wins.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I made it for the worst. I made the list of the non-Marvel movies that are Marvel movies aren't part of Sony or Fox. So going back to Doctor Strange 1978 and Howard the Duck and stuff like that.
A classic.
I love
Mhm.
Howard Filzy. Yeah, absolutely.
You have to understand that
VHS.
Grave and I really love these movies, like to the
Mhm.
point that it's like, but we also recognize that they're really bad movies. So we love how bad they are.
So for where we are at this bracket right now, we started it last week, and right now we're up to what's the worst of the two movies: Captain America 1979 or Blade Trinity?
Ooh.
Right.
Okay.
See, they're hard. They're really hard.
So we're talking Reb Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Reb, don't kill us for like putting all of your movies in this bracket.
Oh, poor Reb.
I love Reb Brown. He's one of the coolest guys ever, and we've interviewed him a couple times. But like, yeah, don't kill us for putting you on this. But yeah, so we're talking the 1979
Captain America.
Captain America versus Blade Trinity.
I love that. He was wearing a motorcycle helmet the whole
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The thing about Blade Trinity is that the content that came out of the movie after the fact from all the stories of the cast. I mean, if that movie didn't exist, then we wouldn't get all that, like the Patton Oswalt interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, and the whole like I can't vote against Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I think he was the funniest thing.
You
about
can
it,
vote against
so.
Parker Posey and Triple H, though. I mean,
Hey, you know what? I liked Parker Posey in that.
Parker
movie
Posey
very
and
much.
Ryan Reynolds just riffing on each other. That's the best
Oh.
part of the movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Michael knows what's up.
that
Y'all.
movie is also the reason we have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but doesn't make the movie good.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's so good they made a number 4, right? Oh wait, no, they didn't.
Hey, there's one coming out, so you hush
that's
your mouth.
not a sequel to this.
It's not a sequel.
In that movie that are ridiculously funny, like, hey asshole, you seen my dog?
But that reminds me too much of Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther 2, where he's like, "Is this your dog?" And he's like, "No." And he goes, or he says, "Does your dog bite?" And he goes, "No." And then he pets him and he bites him and he goes, "I thought your dog did." That's not my dog. It's like, I love that.
But yes. So for Taylor said Cap, he was voting for Cap. I think
No, I say Blade's the worst movie because that had expectations and I was upset when I was watching it. Captain America, by the time I was able to see it, I was like, I love this.
Right. It's so kitschy. It's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
so. What's your vote, Frey?
You guys are putting me in a rock and a hard place here. Okay, so for the love of Red, I am gonna say Blade. Even though I did fight for it, I'm gonna say that Blade is
Blade's the worst movie.
Yeah. We have 3 votes for Cap in the chat. I'm voting Blade as well. So that makes it a tie. So Phil,
Captain America.
Captain America.
But we love you, Reb. We love you.
Again, Reb Brown, I love you to death. You are one of the coolest guys that I've ever met in my life. I have to vote for your movie.
All right. Well, that means Captain America is moving on.
Woo!
We have such a great lineup so far. My goodness. All right. I mean, I think this next one's going to be no contest, but we'll get out of the way anyway. Blade 2 versus the 1977 Spider-Man.
Do people think Blade 2 is bad?
This is just a list of all the movies. We're just
okay.
Yeah.
because there's so many bad ones in this list. That's we made it the worst stuff.
I
Yeah,
have to go
I
with
mean,
Spider-Man.
I'm
I mean, I love it, but I have to go with Spider-Man because Blade 2 to
Spider-Man.
me was better.
I mean, as much as I love Japanese Spider-Man, that he was not Spider-Man. He wasn't even Peter Parker.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's without a doubt. Yeah, Spider-Man's moving on. That's the worst one.
And we definitely want Spider-Man and Blade 3 to fight, right?
Oh no, Blade didn't win. So
Oh no, it was Cap.
yeah.
No, we want Cap and Spider-Man to fight.
oh well, we'll get there. But
Like Civil War all over again.
All right, you ready for this one then?
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff is Nick Fury versus Elektra.
Oh,
Oh man.
I could
Evenly
watch
matched.
Jennifer Garner just all day, do whatever. So Nick Fury is that's the worst one.
but I mean, like, yeah, Hasselhoff as Nick Fury was terrible, and
He was horrible.
but Elektra was such a sad movie. As good as Jennifer Garner is,
She did look good as Elektra.
she looks
though.
hot. But that doesn't. I mean, yeah, she looks good, but that doesn't make her a good Elektra Nachos.
No.
Right, they're gonna say Catwoman is a good movie just because of Halle Berry, and that's not.
No.
How's that song go? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. What was it? It was a theme song for Electro, not the theme song. Oh,
It was the was it the song that was
me from
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, what is that song? I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna say it's Elektra or
Nick Fury.
I gotta do Nick Fury.
I'm giving it
That
to the
movie
Hoff for
was-
sure. That movie's
You
terrible.
get into the Hoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anything with Hoff is gonna like lower just a little bit. I mean, I love him and I love that movie because it's horrible. It's horrible, but I gotta do
Yeah,
that.
Thomas says Elektra.
Mhm.
Jackie might be upset with me because she loves the Hoff, but no.
Yeah, I'm going Elektra because that movie is awful. But so yeah, that means we have Nick Fury with 3, Elektra with 2. So yeah, Nick Fury's moving on.
Michael,
All right.
did you get to vote?
Yeah, are they compete? If they win for the worst, does that mean they move on or they
Yeah.
don't? Oh, okay.
We're finding the worst of this
Totally
list.
misunderstood.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're finding the worst of
It's a
these.
race to the bottom. Gotcha.
Race to the bottom. Yeah.
Exactly. 100% exactly it.
All right. Ghost Rider versus Generation X.
Which Ghost Rider are we talking here?
The first Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Ghost Rider 2 is coming up. He's already moved on.
The Spirit of Vengeance.
Yes.
I remember when that Gen X, the TV movie came on, it was like the biggest deal because wasn't Gen X was a popular comic. Was it Chris Botchlow or
It was oh gosh.
It was
you
the
would
not
ask me
X.
that,
It was the
remember.
not X-Men. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like they were kind of like the Teen Titans of the
I thought Chris Botchlow was the artist, and he was hot at that time. And
I think you're right. I think it was him. I was thinking it was either him or Adam Davis, but I think he only did Excalibur at that time. So I think you're right. It was Chris.
oh gosh, I think Ghost Rider's worse.
Ghost Rider's worse. All right, we got one.
My nostalgic memory of Gen X, Ghost Rider's worse.
Yeah.
If we're talking you said the first one, right? Then I have to go with Ghost Rider because I loved Generation X. We already talked about this.
I know.
We talked about this last time.
What about you, Phil?
Oh, Ghost Rider for sure.
Worse than Generation X. Wow.
Because it was a TV movie, so the bar is lower for
Yeah.
For Ghost Rider to fail, it's like, come on, guys, it's a no
That's fair.
brainer. Fucking bite her on fire with a skull head. That should be easy to do.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Nick Cage just.
But he's being Nick Cage.
It is Nick Cage, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but the point
he's
is
good in
he's
it.
not
He
being
likes-
Ghost Rider. He's being Nick Cage.
being Nick Cage.
Some people play one character, and he's one of those. He plays himself.
That's true.
All right. Well, then with Tater voting and Tom's voting, we have Ghost Rider being the worst of them. So Ghost Rider is moving on. All right. Back to it.
My dog knows that it's been 2 hours and she's like at my side. That's why I keep going. That's why I keep doing this and I'm petting her. She's a corgi and she's a little terrorist actually. But she's like, Mom, it's 2 hours. You need to get off. So,
All right. I think we probably can guess what this one's going to go, but Captain America 1990 versus Blade.
Oh, Captain America for sure. Blade was
Yeah.
a movie.
That first one was really good. And I loved the actor they got for Dracula. I was watching him on Prison Break and I saw him in Blade, or it may have been
That's
the
Blade
opposite.
Trinity.
Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
Was that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then
Oh.
I'm
He's
thinking. of
like
something
he's
else.
the worst part of that movie when he's Dracula and he wakes up and he just walks down New York City in leather pants or something like.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's why I loved it. I was like, Dracula would never fucking do this. He would never fucking do this. I was
Why
like, this
not?
is fantastic. And then he went into that store and then he like drank all those people. I was
This
like,
is the word Vlad Tepes ever.
yeah.
I'm
He's
not
like a
familiar with the
millennial
1990
Vlad
Captain
Tepes.
America.
Do you remember when Conan was showing previews of newscasters report on the new Captain America First Avengers? Like, it's good. And they showed clips, and it's from the Captain America 1990 movie.
It's not. I mean, of the Cap movies that they did that were like TV movies and before the MCU, I think it's probably not. I mean, it's to
The
me,
worst.
it's the worst one. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So, Michael Frey, Phil Well, unanimously voting Captain America is moving on for being worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Captain America
Oh yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though Deacon Frost was
Oh,
atrocious.
I have
That's who he was. Deacon Frost. That's who I'm
Deacon
thinking
Frost
of.
is so good.
And that was what's his name? Oh, he was really big at that time, and I can't remember his name.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, he was a good villain. So
All right. That brings us, we're closing in. We're at our final 8.
8.
All right.
Okay, so
Final
4
8.
things, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Doctor Strange, 1978, versus Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance. Which one's the worst movie?
Oh God,
It's Doctor
they're
Strange.
so bad.
Doctor Strange. It has to be Doctor Strange.
Spirit of Vengeance is at least they're going for something. What is that? The Crank guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, I felt like there was like a story to it. Where Doctor Strange, I was like, there's kind of a story, but he
And to
looks
answer-
good in the cloak.
And to answer Thomas' question, yes, Howard the Duck was eliminated because Howard the Duck is awesome, so he wouldn't be the worst movie.
Howard the Duck is terrible, and it got eliminated because the movie that it went up against was worse.
It was Doctor Strange.
It was.
That's right.
All right, so
awesome.
Michael, you said Doctor Strange. Frey, you said Doctor Strange. Phil, Doctor Strange.
Absolutely, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, poor Ghost Rider. No one thought he was the worst. All right, Doctor Strange is moving on to our final 4. Oh man. All right, Fantastic Four, 1994 versus Captain America, 1978.
So
1979.
Roger Corman versus
Mhm.
the 1970. So again, we're back
What
to
What a good matchup.
Right?
I
I'm
have a lot of affection for
Yeah.
those Fantastic Four movies because Chris Evans is doing a pretty good job as like a smart ass. That was in his smart ass phase. Remember that? And then
Yeah.
I
Jeff
wish it was-
Alba. I mean,
I wish it was that version of
But
Fantastic.
this is
It's
the Roger
not.
Corman,
This is
1994.
the one
Hold
that
on
was
to the
never
rights.
released.
This
You
is
had
the
to
one
go
that
to like
knew
Comic
existed.
Con to get a copy
Mhm.
of it. It was a bootleg.
then I vote Captain America.
Yeah,
It's so cool to see the Thing, even if it was just a big dude in a
I mean, it was, yeah. Nah, I gotta say Fantastic Four. I mean, it never was released, so
Lots of good movies don't get released.
I know, but it's one of those where it wasn't released. At least the other one was released.
It wasn't a good movie though.
No, it really
It wasn't.
wasn't. Okay, all right. I'll pick the other one.
Well, no, because he said lots of good movies don't get released. And I was like, yeah, but it wasn't a good movie. So
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm saying lots of bad movies get released too.
Yeah. Well, no, because I mean, I remember going to to a comic book convention and like buying a bootleg copy of that just so I could see it. So for that nostalgia, I guess I won't vote for it because I do have a memory of it that I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, Thomas, it's the one that was put on YouTube, of course.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Phil?
was born before YouTube. Oh
Yes,
my God.
sir.
We've already talked about this. I'm immortal. We have had this discussion.
Who am I voting for?
Yeah. Fantastic Four, Captain America.
God. I'm going to go with Captain America. And the only reason, as much shit I was talking about Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, at least he tried to make the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Right. Reb Brown's Captain America was nothing related to Captain America at all. He was a dude with a bike helmet that rode a bike. It wasn't Steve Rogers. He had his shield was on the front of his bike, and it was a plastic shield too. Like, no.
Yep.
I mean, but the bike was cool.
It was.
Yeah,
if it was the best bike.
Did they take that from the comics, or that he puts it on the front of his motorcycle, or in recent stuff is that a reference to that?
No, it's all. So all that is it was all original from that show. And yeah, him doing it in World War One or World War II, sorry, was almost like an homage to that.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
And then when he did it in
what
was it, Winter Soldier, when the thing was going through the bridge and it was fighting him and stuff, he did it again then too. Yeah, so that was really cool. But it was a nod to that.
Make it cool. Yeah, like it was a way to make it cool, right? Because if you have Chris Evans do it,
I was gonna say, if Chris Evans is doing it, it's automatically cool.
It's cool.
If Chris Evans would jump off a bridge.
He has.
All the time.
All right.
He jumped off a bridge in that movie.
I don't think it was him though. I'm sorry.
Again, I talk about this all the time. Jumps off of a plane. He jumps out of a plane into the water and then pins a dude with a knife on the side of the boat.
Yeah.
When we talked about like, oh, can you have that kind of violence in the MCU? Yeah, it happened in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that elevator fight scene to this day is still my favorite fight scene of any MCU property.
Yeah.
Period. Because it is an amazingly choreographed fight scene. So.
We're talking good movies here. We're talking bad movies right
Paper
now.
Tigers, Guy De Silva Green. He's in the elevator fight.
Oh, really?
Is he?
Yeah,
oh
he
my
plays
God.
Teenage
Awesome.
Jim. So he's one of the he's Black Panther also. He's one of the Black Panther stuntmen from Civil War.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
That's so neat. So then I have him to thank for the amazement of how much I love the fight scene. So
One of our friends of the show, Gene Freeman, is as a stuntman or action actor on both of those movies as well.
they probably know each other.
Tigers, but
Cool.
All right. Spider-Man 1977 versus Nick Fury.
Oh God. This one's gonna. Whew. On one hand, it's not really Spider-Man,
it isn't.
but on the other hand, the Hoff plays Nick Fury.
It's the Hoff.
It's like,
And he is that Nick Fury of that time period.
mhm.
They did model Nick Fury after him in the comics
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Which is the same thing which is funny.
Samuel,
A lot of people don't realize that Samuel L. Jackson was actually based on the comic book character was actually based on Samuel L. Jackson.
In the Ultimates, yeah.
And
That- yeah.
What a great run! What a great part of metacasting. I was thrilled when I saw it. I was like, because you feel like you're in the know because you read the Ultimates, which is
Right, yeah. As
one of
soon
the
I
greatest
as soon as I
comics
saw him in
series ever.
Ultimates, I was like, that's Samuel Jackson. And then they cast him in the movie, and I was like, oh, motherfucker.
All right, so we got 2 votes for Fury. What are you guys voting for?
Fury.
Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fury.
Yeah.
Do I go Fury or do I go Spider-Man? Because again, at least he was trying to be Nick Fury. Because Nick Fury, Agent of Shield, versus Japanese Spider-Man, who is iconic in his own way,
Yes.
but is not Spider-Man.
I mean, he has his own robot.
It is known.
It's a hard
So
one.
we go.
It's a hard one.
Come on, Phil.
I'm going Spider-Man.
Oh.
All right, that's 2 votes for Spider-Man and 5 for Fury.
Fuck my vote. Come on, listen.
Hey, Phil, now you were both Team Spider-Man on that one. I'll just let you know.
Oh my god. Hashtag Team Spider-Man.
All right, that brings us to Ghost Rider versus Captain America 1990.
Oh,
Captain America 1990. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I think we're gonna get to our winner tonight for this bracket.
Yay!
I'm actually almost done with Groot here, so I mean, hopefully I should be done by the time you get to it.
Yep, final 4. Wow, we have a lot of Captain Americas in here.
You see it's starting to become his face a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so cute.
All right, Doctor Strange 1978, Captain America 1979.
It's Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah, I gotta say Doctor Strange on that
Doctor
one.
Strange was just so awfully terrible.
Yeah. Oh, I mean it. Yeah.
But it's porno Strange. Come on.
With his epic porn stash.
Oh man, it was the 70s, y'all. Come on. Everybody had a porn stash then.
I mean, I did.
Even I had one. No, I'm
I also wasn't alive.
Like back in 1959 when I was. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh no, I'm alive because of my dad's porn stash.
There you go.
There you go. All right, yeah, I think Doctor Strange has that one in the wraps. So
Does Doctor Strange become the sleeper and become like the worst non-MCU movie ever made?
Oh, if I
It's
have something to
entirely
say
possible.
about it, it does.
all right,
It's the big loser.
Nick Fury versus Captain America 1990.
I gotta go with Nick Fury on that.
That Nick Fury's worse than Captain America 1990.
Mm,
Now we're getting into our love of Hasselhoff. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Cap now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Nick Fury. That movie rubbed me so many wrong ways.
See, Captain America, 1990s Captain America rubbed me a lot the wrong way.
Where did the 90s Captain America touch you? Did he touch you in a bad place?
No spot.
all right, so you're going Cap, Phil?
Oh, absolutely, going Cap.
Yeah, I'm going Cap as well. Let's make sure everyone in the chat has something to say. So, Fury versus Captain America 1990. Oh, we got another one for Fury. It's been close.
Because you know what? Because they're my peeps. They're not.
You have peeps? Oh man.
Yes, I do. It's almost Easter,
Worst
so of course I have peeps.
Ever.
Anything chocolate? You're right. Is the worst you can.
You know what? Shut your mouth.
Who hates chocolate? Oh, I hate chocolate.
He doesn't like chocolate. He doesn't like potatoes. Phil doesn't like pickles.
I hate pickles.
Ugh,
Pickles are great.
Pickles are gross.
I love pickles.
I didn't realize this was a communist podcast.
Right? I like pickles, potatoes. I like chocolate. You don't get a body like this without liking food. I mean, come on.
All right, I think Captain America moves on.
Woo! Even though I picked Nick Fury.
I know.
Poor Nick and his
All right.
fury.
That means we have for the winner of the worst movie, not Marvel, between Doctor Strange, 1978, and Captain America, 1990.
Oh. It is on now. It's like, oh.
It actually just lost my interest. Like, what do I care? It's a tie.
It's a tie. They could just shake on it and then and move on with their lives.
Well, whoever wins, everyone's getting a free copy of.
And you get a copy. You get a copy.
I am going to say Dr.
Prize.
Strange.
That's my prize on the show this week. This is what I'm giving away, is whatever movie wins.
Yeah, I gotta say Doctor Strange because I have more memories of the '90s Captain America, not fond ones, but Doctor Strange, whatever.
Fred, you said?
I said Strange.
So
Give me
Dr.
some Strange.
Oh, Phil?
I'm going Strange.
Going Strange?
Yeah. Yeah, Strange.
Doctor Strange.
The most comic book accurate costume of Doctor Strange. We're voting against that.
Comic book accurate version, costume of Doctor Strange, but he's also worst.
Dude, the lighting was even wrong in that movie. I'm sorry, but it was. I was like, why are they lighting it like this? So.
Because they
Actually,
came
some
from
more-
a porno set.
It was, yeah.
This was a more comic accurate Captain America too. Actually, that's interesting. I don't know why they had to change it.
Every hero should wear spandex, right? I mean, that's yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So you said Strange, Michael, or you said Cap?
Strange is
Strange. All right. Yeah. So I think with that, Doctor Strange
Yay!
wins the worst non-Marvel movie based on Marvel properties.
Oh my god. Well, that's awesome. Michael, thank you for staying.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's
you
just
for
a
letting me
little
stay.
longer. I'm so sorry. I know we said like 7 minutes or something, but yeah.
I don't know. I had to go to the bathroom like an hour ago, but I really
Oh.
wanted to.
Interesting. I like the concept. Shit, I've got to go fucking piss.
But I gotta find out how this
I
is.
really need to know who's in this crowd.
Suffering right now, you ass.
That's right.
All right. Now we're going to start playing Doctor Strange on YouTube. Everyone see.
Now we're doing a reaction video. No.
Live
Jesus Christ. All right. I'm putting his eyes in, and then I'm done. And I can't
Okay.
goddamn eyes in.
Well, I'm going to say this, Michael. Thank you so much. I mean,
Yes.
I appreciate it. You guys being here and just letting us basically just ask random questions to you. It was awesome.
Thanks
Just
for
kind
having
of ruin your
Oh,
entire
yeah.
night.
No. We love,
You couldn't get any beer. Now you gotta go to the bathroom.
Like, I couldn't get a beer. I can't piss. Fucking assholes,
the beer
man.
will still be there. The bathroom's
That's
not
true.
going anywhere. It'll
That's
be
true.
okay.
And
We love
you
the
got
fact
to hear about the Persian.
All right, so here goes Groot. Let me show everybody what Groot looks like here. I'm gonna
Yes.
That's
make
pretty
it
good.
bigger. In biggin. Okay.
Oh, that's really
Yes.
cool.
Take the ring light off real quick. All right. Oh, actually, we need the green light. Ring light still. All right.
I was gonna say he's a little dark now.
Yeah, I know, right? So he's got his little feet. He moves around. We got little Groot there. He actually looks like Groot, right? Of course, his awesome ass cassette.
That's awesome.
If only played real music.
I mean, that'd be awesome. And then, of course, it comes with like a little stand thing that
The
describes.
Infinity Saga. I am Groot.
Profanity. The profanity.
Yeah. Seriously. All
You got
that
all these
bad
extra
language.
pieces, though.
Huh?
You got all these extra pieces.
There's always extra pieces at the end of every kit.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
my
yeah.
5-year-old says.
So just to give
That's when you know they're not going to be an engineer, right?
Right.
Extra pieces.
just to give everybody a preview, the next kit that I'm building next week was the mystery kit. That's what won the vote on in the chat or in the on the Nerdington post. And I'm going to reveal what the mystery kit is. I know a lot of people have been wondering what it is and like, oh, what was the mystery kit? I'm excited to show you guys the next kit I'm building.
Oh, that's
Are you telling me you made a
beautiful.
time machine out of a DeLorean?
You made a time machine out of a DeLorean made out of Lego?
You're gonna
I think
do
it's
that
more.
in 2 hours?
There's more emphasis.
No, not in 2 hours.
On out than there is DeLorean. You
Yeah.
made a time machine out of a DeLorean. That's there you
And
go.
yet-
That's
and,
it.
and you have
Giving
that like
Michael J. Fox line readings. Like,
all of my
Michael, please, do it like this.
so
Michael, we need you to do it more like Eric. Come on.
oh yes, you got to do it like Eric. You have to do it like Eric, or else it's not going to work. But no. So what we do is I just build whatever I can within 2 hours.
Gotcha.
Right. So I'm going to be building this, starting the build on the show now. The question is, which version of the DeLorean do I build? Because you can build all 3 versions of it on this, right? So I can build the original one. I can build the one from Back to the Future 2, the time machine that flies, or I can build the train version of it.
I think
So
the
what
flying
you do
one.
I want to do the flying one, but I'm gonna put it in a vote in the Nerdington post.
Oh, okay.
what you do is you just empty the box, and that's the DeLorean at the end of the movie.
Done.
It's
There
already
we go.
made.
Now, also, I'm gonna give away a kit next week.
Aw.
This little bunny right here, Year of the Rabbit, because this
bunny.
year is the Year of the Rabbit. So I'm gonna give away this kit. Guys, all you got to do is be in the chat when we go live, and probably sometime around 7:00. We will do a raffle to give away the rabbit. That's all you got to do is just be in the chat when we give it away, and that's it. It's free. There's nothing you have to pay for aside from your time and giving me your soul. So there we go.
Well, I guess I owe you one soul then. I haven't found mine yet.
Yeah. Well, you can do what the gingers do, and steal souls, and then give those to
That, you know what? That is true, but blasphemous.
She goes, "It's true, but
True.
He's right, but he's out of line.
So, I mean, I'm throwing this out there, Mike. If you watch this next week and you're in the chat, we're gonna be doing more March Nerdness month for the brackets.
Yeah.
We're gonna do all comic
all
book
month.
movies,
All the
but
way.
not all the yeah, but not the worst ones. We're going for the best ones on the rest of these brackets.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big bracket.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing all DCs in one bracket, the MCUs in one bracket, and then Sony and Fox are in one bracket, and then comic, superhero, non-Marvel DC movies will be in that bracket. So like
Watchmen,
Rocket Man, Meteor Man,
Right.
Blank Man.
Nice.
Blank Man wins that for sure.
Yeah. Probably.
Will this
Yeah.
same link work to get into the general?
No, but we'll post it on our Instagram. So we before we go live, we if you go to the story, we always post a link. So or if you follow us on any of our on like Facebook or Twitter or anything like that.
Yeah, and they're
After now, I mean,
You're invested, aren't you?
you join our Discord. Pretty much all that stuff blasts all of our links when we go live.
very cool. Well,
Awesome.
thank you again for having us.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
We
thanks,
had a blast
Mike.
with you guys on. I hope
Yeah.
you guys had fun. When I said you guys are welcome to come on anytime you want. Again, that was not being facetious or joking. If you want to come on again, just let me know, man. And I'm more than willing to.
It's not the
love talking about ourselves.
LA come on again. It's the hey, we really enjoy talking with you all. If you want to come on anytime you want, just hit us up and we'll be happy to have you.
That'd be great. I love comic book shit. I love
Hell yeah,
reading
man.
stuff.
If
Yeah.
you couldn't tell, I'm a big Wonder Woman fan.
I noticed.
So
That's what that is. I've never noticed it, Frey. I'm sorry.
oh my god.
Pretty much
No,
all
that's
comic
just
books
like
behind
my
me there. So comic books and Funko Pops behind me. So I mean, like, that's kind of what we do here, man. Is we talk nerdy to each other and
Phil and I fight about the Joker every now and then.
Oh, that was an interesting bracket.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to be on that night, and they started talking. I was like, "No, I got to get on this." I was like, I didn't. I like my hair was it was like a mess, and I was like, "No, we're talking about this." So,
Well, Michael stayed all the way to the end. Let's have him in on the dance party here. I know
oh
a little bit.
yeah.
This one's gonna throw him off a little bit, but
Yeah. Do you
Do I
have
need
anything
dance?
you can dance with? We do dance party
Oh,
at
I
the
don't have
end.
to. Okay.
yeah, just grab something around you and just make
Yeah.
it dance on the screen. But before we do that, let's get some pluggables out there, guys. Plug anything that you're doing right here, anything that you got coming up. Frey, let everybody know where they can find you, what pluggables you got. Put yourself over.
If you find me first, yay. If I find you first, uh-oh. No, I am on I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I actually I was on Facebook today. I'm hardly ever on Facebook. So but I am at Frey Girl on Twitter. Also on YouTube, I have my own YouTube channel at Frey Girl. It's basically corgi puppy shorts right now, but I plan on doing some other stuff soon. And then I am Monday through Friday. I am on the Break Room, which is 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm the mod there, and I do the live chat with everybody, so I'm there, and I'm also on their Discord. So I'm a mod there as well. You can catch me there. I do Kyber Cave Productions. I do After Dark. I occasionally show up on random gaming shows. Soon I will be doing something with Graveyard that is nerdy, and which is my wheelhouse. So yeah, that's where I am. But yeah, on Instagram and on TikTok, I am Gotham Oracle. I'm Gotham_Oracle on Instagram, and I am Gotham.Oracle on TikTok, and you can find me there. I do recommend that if you follow me on Twitter, just understand that I tweet a lot of things. Like
I
a
see
lot.
them. I see them all.
Yeah, I was gonna say Graveyard knows. I tweet a lot of things. So but yeah, that's me.
What?
All right. Graveyard. Put yourself over, man.
What?
Yes. So yes, I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod at Night Mostly podcast. We do a horror movie review podcast, releases every Wednesday. And starting really, really soon, you're going to find us on Comic-Con Radio as well, along with young Phil and John Mez on Comic-Con Radio. I'm excited for that. Hopefully we're going to be going to more cons, stuff like that. So the Mostly Pod Out at Night, mostly.com. It's really long, I know. Or Pod Out at Night on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Hit us up. Top of that, you can find me at Kyber Cave Productions. I do Retro Alcove, which is a pre-recorded show of playing old-ass video games, and release that every Monday. Usually on Thursdays, Gaming Live, Kyber Cave Dark. Working on a new show for Saturday for Kyber Cave, and join us on our Discord. So you can join our fellow cavers, dwellers, and spelunkers on there. Talk nerdy to us, please.
They mostly
Odd.
at night. Mostly.
Mike, put yourself over, man. Let everybody know where they can find you.
I feel bad. I only have one social. It's I'm on Instagram at E3 Velasquez.
All right. You got any projects coming up, or at least anything that you can talk about, or maybe any appearances or anything like that?
I had a pretty rough time working on these last few projects, so I've been taking an extended hiatus.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Hey,
Oh.
there's nothing wrong with just being a fan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Y'all gonna be at WonderCon?
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You're like the third person in the last 2 days that has messaged that. It's just depressing me to say that. No, we're not going to be there.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, guys, you know me. I'm your boy, Young Phil. Of course, you can see I have a scenery change, mostly so I could get over here to the mixer. But I mean, guys, you know me. You know where we're at. If you're watching the channel, you know who we are. But of course, follow us on all the social medias that exist. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Friendster. Of course, you can find us on GeoCities, Black Planet, Napster, of course, OnlyFans, Friendsly, all those places right there. You'll just find pictures of nothing but Aaron Watson's feet and mandals. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. It is now time for the dance party. And as you guys know, that is our favorite time to go. So let's get this going. Of course, I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. Let's go. And where am I going to start here? Let's go, Frey. I literally have that sitting next to me right now.
Distant nerding.
I lost my mouse. See everybody next week.